Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to Miss Phins. I'm your host, Miss Phins. Welcome to League Wise Sunday. Uh, what's up, guys? Honestly, I've been laughing so hard for the last 30 minutes, reading some of you guys' comments on X that I'm like, I need to, I need to talk to you folks. So we're gonna talk today. We're gonna have fun. Discuss. Obviously, there's two games in the NFL going on today. I'm sure they'll come up. What's up, Vince 209? What's up, Dolphin here? Welcome, guys. Thank you so much. Hit that like button, guys. Honestly, I just wanted to talk. Like the Tua Talks on X are hilarious to me. Man, some of you guys are funny, like really funny. But you know what I'm gonna ask? You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button for us. Hit the like button for us. Let everybody else know we're live. Also, too, public service announcement. Please keep it clean. Thank you very much, guys. You guys already know, previous kids, keep debating, keep having opposition. That's perfectly fine. Just remember to be kind to each other. Debate the opinion. Be kind to the person. So yes, oh yes, and obviously you can catch Miss Vince Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern, every Monday to Friday. I don't like doing weekend shows. I never do. Um, but I think this is probably this is the second one I've done this entire year, this entire season. So yeah, well, year because I do 365, baby. All of you guys who have become members, thank you so much. Everybody else, become members. This is a great way to support the channel, man. It really does help to continue moving the channel moving forward and continue to have opportunities for us to grow and have more people and interviews and things like that and better equipment and better everything. So shout out to all the members, man. You guys really do help out so much. So thank you. And if you want to become a member, just hit the join button next to Miss Fans. It should be on there. If you don't see it and you're an Apple user, you'll have to just click the link in the description. It'll take you to the website version where you can click the link to join and become a member. We got 4 different tiers, different perks, so I appreciate it. But ultimately, honestly, it's for you guys just to continue to show love. So I appreciate all of you guys. We still got super chat, super thank you, super stickers. So remember those as well. And because y'all getting a free bonus show this week. If you're old school like me, we also still have PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. So everything is Miss Fancy, MISSPHINS. You can go ahead and do it that way too. When you do it through these means, though, it's 100%. And your donation does come to the channel. Like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, we win together, we lose together. Dolphins for life. Oh, man. We're about to have fun. What's up, Andrew? Finch 209. Esther Finn, what's up? What did Tua say? Yeah, I'm gonna do what's up, Ermine? I'm gonna open up the panel because I want you guys to talk to. But I'm telling you right now, I have been laughing so hard. I gotta pull some of these up. Because I am just seeing a lot of fans be fans, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, but sometimes I'm like, I get it, be a fan. But man, like also acknowledge what other people are seeing too. Feel like you can grow as well. And some people refuse to acknowledge certain things. And it's like, you guys are savage versus each other. I'm telling you right now, man, these people on X are hilarious. What was it? I'm not going to say who. But somebody did say, wait till the Dolphins fix the O line. Actually, I've read this. Multiple people have said this, that we have to fix the O line. So it's going to be way better and everybody's going to be able see an even better, more improved Tua, which, hey, it could actually happen. You know what I mean? But then, some people, their replies, man, he just need one more year. And they put a Tannehill photo, and I'm like, stop. No, they didn't. Oh God. But yeah, I just can't. And then the other people, man, they're hilarious. They're like, yeah, give two one more time in the pocket. Still gonna be an interception. I never know what to expect with you fans, but you guys are hilarious. Like too much. Happy Sunday, y'all. Your boy turns 30 today. Hey, Adam, happy birthday. Brr, 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 brr. Happy birthday, Adam. That's awesome. Congratulations. What is it, 30 30? Yeah. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Be safe. And everybody wish him happy birthday. Man, that's awesome, dude. That's really great. Enjoy yourself. You're gonna have a lot of fun, as always. Everybody should celebrate and have fun on their birthday, right? You know what I mean? Um. So yeah, yeah. The only thing is, you gotta hit that like button, baby. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from all of us to you. We wish you was our birthday so we can party too. Hey, you know what I mean? Oh man, that's awesome. Happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday. There you go. Yep, yep, yep. Absolutely. But it's hilarious. And some people say, and then somebody else brought up this point too. Give I almost said Tannehill, my lord. Give two one more time in the pocket, and it's just gonna result in two things: interception, not interception, but somebody said first read. He's still gonna throw to his first read. I was like, I mean, I don't know if his first read is Tyreek, maybe with more time, but then somebody else said, you give Tua more time in the pocket, his wide receiver is going to be too far for him to throw the ball to. And I'm like, I can't with you guys. Insinuating he can't throw the ball deep, which we all know he can, but it's just, man, you guys are funny. Like, funny. The rest of another one, oh, Lord. Oh, one that I actually agree with. Like statistically speaking, if you guys don't know, please go ahead and check it out. You don't have to take my word for it. The more time Tua gets in the pocket, the worse his decision making gets, actually, and the higher likelihood of him getting injured goes through the roof. And yeah, so hearing some of the comments, well, reading some of the comments are hilarious. And the replies, and then people blocking people just because they don't agree with their comments. Like, if you don't have to agree with people's comments, but then why would you post something knowing people are gonna reply back? Like that. See, to me, that makes no sense. If you're gonna post something anywhere in social media, and then you're gonna get mad at the person for replying, that's literally why you put it up there so they can reply. Don't be mad because you don't agree with them. Well, people are gonna do it. But I just thought it was uh it's just hilarious. Yeah. So I just thought it was hilarious, guys, and I couldn't. The chills are going down. Man, it is freezing in Florida. Okay, if you're in Florida, if you're especially South Florida, it is too flipping cold. I don't care what nobody says. It is absolutely too cold. Absolutely too cold. I don't agree with this coldness being so dang cold. I just can't. I just can't. But hey, it is what it is. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. I just came on here to say hello because I was like, man, nobody's on. Nobody got nothing to say. I'm just here to have fun. I mean, I got stuff to do, but I'm like, I can chill for a little bit. You know what I mean? So if you guys got questions for me, go ahead and hit me with the questions, guys. I'm here to answer some questions. And also, too, I'm gonna be dropping the link in a minute or two. I want to hear from you guys as well. Um, what you think overall with the season and all that. Wow, I was seeing. Wait, what? Month of Joe. Wow, I was seeing what is up and oh, Miss Phins on. What timing? Yeah, I know. I had to refresh to see it was real. Yeah, it's real, man. It's real. I'm live. And like I said, I'm about to just drop it now. I was like, you know what? I want to talk to you guys because y'all are making me laugh in social media right now with all these two of this, two of that, or the team this, team that. I'm like, you know what? Let's hear from you guys. So if you guys want to come up here, have a panel, let's ask some questions, let's have some fun today. Because I was like, whatever, you know what I mean? It's the end of the season for the Dolphins, but the season's not over yet, and I have to keep reminding people until the Super Bowl happens, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the off season, in my opinion. You know, you can say whatever you want and pick whichever one you think is gonna be, but for me, until the Super Bowl's done, we're still in season. You know what I mean? We're done with our season as Dolphins. Mm, but you know, it is what it is. Today we get to watch the demise of one of our opponents, and I'm gonna be extremely happy. And I can't wait till it happens because for me, I can't stand either of them. So I don't care if Kansas City wins or loses or the Bills win or lose. I'd prefer the Bills to lose, but whatever. I just can't stand either of them. So regardless, I'm gonna have a great time today. Absolutely gonna have a great time for sure. What's up, Tainted Dolphin fan? I'm live in my New York. What? I'm live in New York. Oh, I live in New York. Can I have your cold? It's 5 degrees here. Hey, man, it's 62 degrees. True. I get it. Look, every time, I'm sure you guys chuckle. Every time I say it's freezing here, and it's like in the 60s. I get it. I get it. This morning was 57 degrees. But I'm a Floridian, okay? I am not built for the cold. Not whatsoever, man. So for me, nah, I'm good. I mean, I see you in the back. Give me 1 second, sir. I'm trying to do something real quick, and then I'm gonna pull you back up. Don't leave. Give me 1 second. I gotta cut my cheese. I'm literally cutting my cheese, making some snacks. But but yeah, like I think it's hilarious. So, what's up, Armin?
What's up? How you doing?
Good, good, good. What do you got on the Dolphins? Talk to me.
I played 7 lost the game. The Kansas City got cold. When Tua had the second 2 times assisted the ball. That's why I tried to go win the game. We tried to win it. Me, man, look, it's the I forgot. I got mad at my team. The team lost. Dolphins lost the game.
I agree.
Yeah, I
I
want
don't
to
feel
win. I
like
want to
it's
win.
just that one.
Yeah, I
I
want
don't
to
think it
win
was
though.
just that game. They messed up
Yeah,
in a lot of games. But I'm with you on
yeah,
that game with the Kansas City game. We had opportunities, and I know that we got some balls that were dropped, but
yeah,
I still feel like there were way too many opportunities
yeah. In the
that we just
cold,
didn't take advantage of.
yeah, in the cold, that's danger in the cold. For I would say play at home. We ain't play Miami.
And this is why we should have won the division versus
Yeah,
what's their name, the Bills. But you know, who wants to
yeah,
play a home field advantage playoff game, right? We
yeah.
don't. So it's it's
Nah,
I get it.
I'm thinking that today I don't want both of them win. I don't want both of them win today. I don't want they win. I
I
want they
wish they
lose.
weren't playing each other so I could root for the
Yeah,
opposing team, but unfortunately, both of them are playing together, so I gotta pick one. I already gave you guys my picks and score prediction. It's all in it's not yesterday because
I know Kansas
it's on
City. They won.
Friday's show. So there you go.
Kansas City won two. They won two Super Bowl. They don't need to go to Super Bowl again. They won two Super Bowl, but they won two Super Bowl games. Kansas City don't need to go to Super Bowl no more. They win two trophies. They don't need to go to. They need to go. They don't
I'd
need to go.
rather Kansas City win and
Okay.
go to the Super Bowl. Well, I still expect the Ravens to win, anyways.
Yeah,
And
I get
Buffalo
the win.
went to the Super Bowl. Like
Uh,
I don't care. I
but
lost 3 subscribers this weekend, and I'm like,
yeah,
they're probably Bills fans.
but
But
yeah,
I mean, I
my
don't know why. Because if you look at my prediction, then I don't see why they wouldn't be upset. But whatever, it is what it is.
I get two teams go to
What's
Super
up,
Bowl.
my stuff?
I get two
Go
teams go
ahead.
to Super Bowl. The Kansas City and no, I get the wins and the 49ers go to Super Bowl. Them two right there. The win and the 49ers. I I
Yeah, it's
I
still.
get yeah.
You got 2 more games to go. So you got
Yeah,
what? Bucks, Lions at 3 today. Then you got Chiefs, Bills at 6:30. So we
yeah,
don't know who's gonna end up, you know,
yeah,
going at the end of the day. But I've got a feeling that whoever comes out of the Chiefs Bills game will lose
yeah.
regardless too.
Ooh, I
What's up,
love her go Bulls.
V21? What's up, Aquavision? How y'all doing? Oh, snap.
How
I
you
got
doing?
people in the back. My bad, guys. What's up, gentlemen? Welcome,
What's
welcome.
up?
Bad Mike Joe.
How y'all doing today?
Yeah, I don't know. Is my mic okay? Can you hear me? Am
Yeah,
I
yeah, it's
echoing?
good. It's good.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't have my headset today. I don't have my regular computer, so that's why I'm bad Mike Joe today.
That's hilarious.
Well,
Yeah, no,
Or studio.
I appreciate it, man. No, so what do you guys got on this game
I
coming
think the
up?
Chiefs are going to win.
okay, yeah, yeah. I trust you. Yeah, I trust you too. Yeah, me too. Yeah. I don't like it. They beat us, and I don't like it. They beat us. Yeah, I but for them today.
Yeah, but I don't want
Yeah,
the Bills to win anything.
Me either. No, I don't.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
facts.
I think the Niners are going to be hard out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Niners are going to be hard out. That game was raining yesterday. It was pouring.
Whoa.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Jordan Love almost had that game. If it
Yeah,
wasn't for the 2 missed you goals, you
and the two
know,
interceptions.
and the two,
Yeah.
yeah, true, true, true.
Right up there with the
They just
Um,
Lions
got
game.
the Niners got to use George Kittle more though. They didn't start going until they started using George.
true, true. What
Yeah.
what were you saying, Joe?
So it was one of the few good games we've had. You know, we had the Lions game, we had that game, we've had a couple of close games, but man, it's been hard to make it through the fourth quarter of most of these games. So, you know, what I
Yeah.
want to see the best, you know, I'd love to see whiny little Mahomes finally lose a game, sitting there pouting at the ref, but at the same time, I'd like to see Buffalo lose also. So this game, I'm
Yeah.
just ready to see a good game. Maybe see some guys beat the
Well,
crap out of each other a little bit,
yeah.
and see how next week rolls. So I'm
Yep.
ambivalent on this one. In a way,
Well,
I'm so tired of Mahomes winning. I kind of want the Bills to win, and then the Ravens to beat the crap out of the Bills. That's kind of like my path
Yeah.
happy now.
no, I don't want the
That will
Bills.
bring
No.
that would make my heart like feel really, really good. What's up, Red, White, and Bills? How you doing, Sean?
Holy Joe, what's up, dude?
No, I
Uh,
want I want the Bills to lose today because I want that way Dan Mitchell will shut up about the greatest story ever told. It's just so
nah, listen.
annoying. It's
Let him
annoying to
have it.
me.
He's a
No,
fan.
no, I
Yeah,
understand
but
that,
he's a
but
fan. But
there's
like,
but you have the Detroit Lions, in the playoffs who actually turned around relatively quick and deserve it more so than the Bills because Josh Allen is just he is what he is. He's not. He's a good quarterback. Yes, he's not
Yeah.
elite, but he's
he
good
is.
enough
We can't
to
like we
yeah.
can't be haters either. Like I can't stand
I'm
him.
not being hated. Yeah, I'm not
I
being
can't
haters or
stand him
anything
at
like
all.
that. I
As a
just think
football
Jared
fan,
Goff's
he's still a
story.
really good
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
think Jared Goff's story is more interesting and more better of a story than the Bills because the Bills they do have and they have Jordan Fields over there. I've been looking at his play and people have been commenting about how he plays. I didn't wake up until Jason Kelsey said something and then I was like, wait a minute. And then I went back and looked at his highlights. He has clips of him hitting people in the knees and stuff like that. And he's lying. I don't want that. Nothing. Jordan Phillips. When Jason Kelsey brought it to the light that he's a dirty player, I had to go back and look at him, and he's out there hitting people's in the knees.
For
All
real?
linemen, for real. Yeah, Jordan. And
I
then
didn't even
Jordan,
hear that.
yeah, and then he
Whoa.
gets in the fan's face and yells at a fan who was going to fight a fan, and he's lying about it, telling, "Oh, they were threatening my family." He wasn't threatening his family. Get out of here. I don't like anything about the Bills after that hit came out. I was like, nah, I'm done.
Well,
Whoa.
I mean, I just don't. I'm a Dolphin fan, so I'm never gonna like the Bills ever. But
Yeah.
at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'd rather lesser of two evils. So I'd rather take
Yeah.
Mahomes, just give him his little ring, whatever, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But then again, we're assuming that they would even get to. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
still think that the Ravens
Yeah.
Ravens are
win it all.
unbeatable. Who's going to
They're
beat the
gonna win it
Ravens?
all.
They got so
Well,
much
the-
rat.
Houston showed a little bit though too, because if you can somehow in that first half, that was actually really good by the Houston. If you can somehow contain him the whole game, which is very hard to do still in itself, but if you found out if you could take at least one receiver away from him and contain him through the whole game, you can actually beat him.
Yeah. Which is true. I mean, everybody's winnable. Everybody is beatable. You know what I mean? There's nobody that's not beatable. Even the great Tom Brady hated to play the Dolphins because he knew, man, this flipping team is always gotta play me hard, and it's the truth. I mean, tell me a time we never play like this. We're the one team that has the best record against him. Period. You know what I mean? So he couldn't stand it. The same thing, and I go to basketball because this happened for so long. The Milwaukee Bucks always played the Heat as if it was Game 7 in the finals, and I'm like, what? I still remember as a kid telling to my dad, why do they always play us like this? And then we'd lose half the time, and I'm like, I hate Milwaukee. But I mean, it is what it is at this point. We'll see.
I'm a Bull fan myself.
I'm hoping for good games. That's what I want. I want good games today, Not that we haven't had good games, but I want good football, If I can't watch my team, I still want to be able to watch a good game,
Yeah. Jordan Love
too,
got
yeah.
his first
I
playoff
understand.
win, and Stroud got his first playoff win. All before Tua.
Yeah. Why are y'all rooting for the Bills? Ain't nobody rooting for the Bills. I'm not rooting.
The only reason I'm rooting for them is
not.
because I'm tired of seeing Mahomes win. Just to answer V21's question
Yeah.
without having to type it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not.
You can't be mad at Mahomes. Literally all the teams had a shot at getting Mahomes. Nobody pulled the trigger and stuff for Kansas City.
You know what's the most frustrating thing, more than anything else, is that this was the year, and this is what annoys me about the Dolphins. This season, this was projected to be the toughest AFC season in the last 5 years, right? And I'm talking powerhouses up and down, right? But then half the starting quarterbacks got injured in the conference, out for the season. You know what I mean? There's nothing but backups everywhere.
Only 9
And it was
quarterbacks.
oh my God. And I'm like, this was the perfect season for us to take advantage and go all the way. And we squandered it. It's so frustrating.
My whole take on Tua, but I had to take the Dolphin fan out of it and stuff like that, and say some players do progress slower than the others, and every year we had him, he did progress, but it's always the same thing. Can his arm last at the end of the year? And clearly, if this doesn't fire him up, which he should already have enough things to fire him up. But if this year doesn't specifically fire him up for next year, I don't think he deserves a contract because he wasn't doing it on a consistent basis. You bring in a quarterback to have a competition with him to see what's going on, see if he can get to the next level. And if he can't, just let him go. Just I'm sorry, 5 years is enough.
What's
You
up,
know,
Yeah, we're
Brian?
gonna have lots of contract talks this offseason until something happens, and then even after something happens, we're gonna have a bunch more conversations about that one because,
Yeah.
man, it's a gamble either way. I mean, if you look at it, if we made the AFC Championship today, I mean this year, Tua would be getting 50 million easy, hands down,
Yeah.
no doubt, 50 million, boom, right there. You can bank on it. So right now,
Mhm.
you don't think so? Hey, you're on mute, Miss Fins.
No, I was saying, sorry. I was saying it's not even a question. You're right. 50 guaranteed. Heck, it might even be fully guaranteed. Like, per,
So
you
now
know?
let's say we make him play on his 5th year option, which isn't happening. We're going with a hypothetical here. We say, you know what? Prove it. Right now we get to the AFC next year, 55 million at
60
least.
million.
Right. So there is a bit of hedging your bet. If we can, let me land on this one because I'm not going to go on forever. We got all off season talk about it. But like Daniel Jones, his contract was huge, but he had about 2 years of guarantee on it. And really, after next year, even pushing stuff back, they'd have like what we're paying for X to cut a quarterback. It's not that bad of a contract when you really look at it. And if we can do something like that, man, we're getting a bargain for Tua. If we can bail after 2 years, then
Yeah,
you got
but
to
people
see it
don't
both
understand
ways.
the
It's a gamble.
intricacies.
It's a gamble either way.
You're right. People just don't understand. All they see is that main numbers. Like he's getting 45 million. Break down the contract. How much is guaranteed? How much is signing bonus? How much is being moved around? Like all that is taken into consideration. But all people see is that general number where it's like it's worth 45, 50, $300 million a year. It's like a lot goes into it, people, if you really do it.
if anything,
And
it's the GM's fault too, though, because how far would he go to prove himself right? You know, because Forrest warned him about Tua, and he didn't listen, and now he has to do all this extra stuff to make sure that he wasn't looking like a liar. It's like, dude, Chris Greer needs to go too, my
Well,
opinion.
I can't argue with you about Chris Greer for a minute. When it comes to him pushing the people that he picked beyond what his own position should be allowed to force play. You look at Austin Jackson, you look at Ike, you look all the way around, and the whole we're fine on the offensive line. We don't need a center. And then here we are with Ike going into a game with no experience, going into the Bills game with no center. That's not, we're just fine, and him saying, oh, this was our year for injuries. Did he forget last year? We had more money on the injury report than any other team in the NFL. This wasn't our first year we've had injuries. I mean, how can you be the general manager and forget last year's injury status? He's either hiding his head and lying or he's just not
I
all
mean,
there. And I
yeah,
don't
it's like
believe that.
the only way I see him trying to get out of this situation. We could have got Grover Cleveland from Jacksonville. A guy was saying that we could have got him, and he was a good guard. Like that helped out your guards. Like at least to do something to help Tua. Like he can't do it all himself every year.
Yep.
the
So
only issue is that Tua has managed to survive without
Yeah, well,
having to have a top O line.
and I will
So
say
to me,
this.
I get it. I want to have an O line, but to me, it's not the O line. It's not the O line that's the main
If you look at his health,
thing.
if you look at Tua's health, that Cincinnati game where he got knocked out, that wasn't a concussion at all. That was not a concussion. His fingers locked up, and I know more about it because my ex-wife has a brain tumor, and this is how she got her brain tumor on her front left lobe. Is she took had an allergic reaction to some pills, and took a header to some tile floor, and now she has a brain tumor. So she had what's called, I know I'm saying it wrong, but a grand mal seizure is what they are, where your eyes roll back of your head, your fingers lock up like that. So it's not a concussion; it's something totally different. And the NFL just want to say it was a concussion because it covered it up. But I know more about it because I live through it every day with my ex-wife and taking her to her MRI pill or MRIs every 3 months, to make sure it doesn't grow. So he could over time develop a brain tumor is what he could. I did not. I'm just saying from my experiences, and I have videos of showing you what I'm talking about because his fingers locked up. He had that grand mal seizure and stuff like that. You can't put a price on a guy's health, too. So I don't understand that from that standpoint too. So just cut your
Yeah,
ties with
well,
Tua. From what I see, is cut your ties with Tua and get somebody else. We can argue. We can go get Ryan Tannehill for cheap for a backup because I think he would be. I know he's a little bit older, but I think he would be better for our system.
I think we'll be
Yeah. Right.
fine. To be honest with you, this is the thing. At this point, to Joe's point, we have literally the entire off season to talk about this.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to go a little too deep.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring up how funny it is how people are going back and forth on each other on X on Tua. I mean, some of the responses are just hilarious, and then people getting in their feelings and blocking us. It's like, but you put the quote out. So why are you upset? What you put the
Uh,
tweet out? Why were you know what I mean? If
Yeah,
people respond a specific way, hello, like that's literally what they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is what it is. But let me go into this 3 o'clock game because you got the Buccaneers and you got the Lions, two quarterbacks, number one picks, and
oh,
two of them that were pretty much discarded by their their team
Franchises.
and yeah,
Yeah.
their franchises. So, what do you think? What's the significance of these two games, man? This particular game between Lions and Buccaneers. What's up,
Well,
Battlehawk?
for me it's like redemption for them, because whether they stay with them, well, Jared Goff is going to stay with them. Whether Baker Mayfield stays with Tampa Bay or anything like that, it's still accomplishment. You got a playoff win with a different team and stuff like that. And yeah, he has Mike Evans and he has that defense, but it still it took him to get there. So I'm happy for him, you know. And for Jared Goff, it's the whole. That's why Sean McVay traded him. But now you have Dan Campbell, who we could have had as a coach, literally when he was with us. But I think it's good for the NFL.
Yeah, I
I'm
think it's
loving the
good. What
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward
What
to
do you
that
got on
game.
this
It's
game?
my second team is Detroit. So
I got Detroit winning.
Yeah, me too.
I have
I'm the
Detroit
same. I'm the
winning
same
too,
page.
but I'm not surprised if the Lions if the Bucks win because Baker Mayfield's feeling himself. You know what I mean? Like he is
Yeah.
feeling himself right now. He might
Well, he
actually be
won a
able to.
playoff game.
What's up, Douglas? What's up, Sean? Welcome, guys. Yeah, I mean, not only did he win, I mean, he won big too. The playoff games. To me, it would just be really nice to see the Lions go all the way. You know what I mean?
that's who
If
I
it
want to
ends
go
up,
all the
Yeah.
way.
if it ends up being like a Lions Ravens, I win either way. Because Lamar will be getting
Yeah,
his,
me
which I'll
too.
be happy, and the
Yeah,
Lions will be
Lamar.
getting theirs if they win. You know what I mean? I just
Well,
feel like
Yeah.
it's a better story.
yeah. A better story for me probably be would probably be the Chiefs and the Chiefs and Niners, and now have the Niners
Yep.
winning
Yep.
because the Niners need to actually win one. Christian McCaffrey is why I think, because I think Lamar will be
Yeah.
with that defense. Lamar's going to be in it more. He's going to be in it right back in next year.
Hmm.
If the 49ers win, that will give them their fifth Super Bowl, tying them with the
No, that would give him
Cowboys.
six. That'll give him six. They already have five.
That put them in a six. I think
Yes,
they
that'll
had.
put him in six. Yeah. No, they have
Oh,
81, 84, 88, 89, and 94.
Let me just double check because I thought they
I
had
got you. I'm in
four.
California, so I hear it all the time. So that's why I know. And half my family's a Niners fan, so I know.
You're right. They do. They got
Yeah.
82, 85, 89, 90, 95. So they got five Super Bowls. This would put them at number six. They'll be the
Mhm.
third team in the NFL to ever get to
Behind the
six.
Patriots and the
Uh-uh.
Steelers.
Behind the Steelers,
Well,
then the
Page.
Patriots.
Oh,
No, no, no. Steelers got it first, way before.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah,
nothing. Steelers first, then Patriots, and then
yeah.
the Niners get it. They'll be the other team that gets what is it?
Six. Yeah, get
they're
six.
six. If you
Yeah.
will. But I mean, to be
Okay.
honest with you,
Okay.
that would be very interesting. You know what I mean? That would be very
Yeah.
interesting. Plus, wouldn't it be the no, because the Rams won like 2 years ago, 3 years ago,
Yeah.
2 years ago. So yeah, I was gonna say it'd be one in a while, but no, the Rams just won it. So
And
yeah, I
Seattle
still
be
think
wanting
though,
the division before that.
if the Lions win it though, talk about winning their first playoff game.
Yeah.
First of all, winning the division in like over 30 some years, then winning their first playoff game, then in this case would be winning their second playoff game because if they won today, getting to the AFC Championship for the first time in their franchise. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then and then getting to the Super Bowl for the first time. I mean, you can't get more of a Cinderella story than that. You know what I mean? I feel like the entire country would root for the Lions to get there because Dan
Yeah.
Campbell is just such a great guy, such a great coach. And you can feel the passion. Like you see him all the time. Like he's about to cry half the time because he's so upset. It's not because he's a crybaby, it's because he's so passionate. Listen, there are times it's a physical reaction to the body. When you are so pissed, you just start crying because you're holding in all that.
Yeah.
And you could see it from him when they lose or something bad happens. But man, that would be to me like the best story, period. And if the Ravens are on the opposite side, representing the AFC, then you'll have Lamar getting his first, Baltimore getting their second. That's also
Baltimore getting their third. Getting their third,
third.
not the
You're
second.
right,
Yeah.
third. My apologies, third. Um, it would be an amazing story for both of them. But I just feel like it feels like that Cinderella story in March Madness. That one random
Yeah.
school that comes out of nowhere that
Yeah.
wins it all. You know what I mean?
I say more so the
That would
Lions
be it.
because the Lions are supposed to be in rebuild right now. Still.
Yeah, they're still technically in that rebuild.
Yep. Houston's supposed to be in a rebuild too, and they got their play.
Well, they have a lot of young players. They're one of the youngest teams. Them, the Packers, are another one of the younger teams.
We used to be. Now we're one of the older on
Hey, what's
roster.
up, Q? Yeah, exactly. Q said it right. What people love more than a downfall is a comeback story. Absolutely. And for the Lions to come here and do what they did and just beat the odds and continue to get better. I'm telling you, that would be it. Lions can shed longest championship drought since 57. Smoke.
Whoa.
Dang, that's a long time. That is a long time. Oof, that's crazy. But you know what? You know what? It's still a good story, and the people of Detroit, man, they're super cool people. Shout out to Eminem because absolutely, and Barry too. Um, but
Yeah.
Yeah, Barry
yeah,
Sanders. Yeah.
but to me that'll be like I'm really looking forward to the Bucks Lions game. Like that to me, it's like, whoo, that's the
Yeah,
one game I was waiting for.
because they both have something to fight for. So you would think
Exactly.
it would think that they would be a bit more better game.
And too, it's like the battled quarterbacks, like the forgotten
Yeah.
quarterbacks, you know what I mean? The
Redemption.
resurging quarterbacks, if you will. Man.
No matter who wins, that game, the first game, I'm okay with whoever wins because I'm happy that they won. And the second game, I'm
Yeah.
happy for whoever loses because I'm happy they lost.
Yeah. I mean, you nailed it. That's literally it. I mean, I can't even put it any better than that. I'm happy with whoever wins because either way, it's gonna be a good story, and I'm gonna be sad for who
Yep.
loses because it's still a good story. But then I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be really happy for whoever loses in the 6 o'clock game because I just can't stand either team. I can't stand either team. It's like it just, and it's not. And people are like, "You're just a hater." Heck yes, I am. I'm a hater. I can't stand the Bills. I can't stand the Patriots. I can't
Yeah.
stand the Jets. They're in my division. What am I supposed to love them? Absolutely not. They're a pain in our tootie all the
Nope.
time. I am not. But shout out to their fans. See, people forget it's that I'm not talking about the fan base. Fans can fan. I don't care. Some fan bases are ridiculous than others, but whatever. You know what I mean? But as far as the team, oh, I could care. Listen, you guys know I can't
Yep.
stand Josh Allen. But I think I was very fair. I didn't put any of my personal feelings. I put my Homer hat off and I put on my football hat. And when I did my game preview on Friday, I just talked numbers, I talked facts, and I spoke what what's going on with the actual teams. I didn't make any sly comments or anything like that. Although I wanted to, I just went straight football. So whoever watches the game preview, if you guys didn't catch it, you can catch my prediction and all that. It's on Friday. I think it's only like an hour and change. Um, but you can go ahead and see it, and I break down both teams statistically speaking, what offense, defense, is looking like, and the rest. What I personally think is gonna happen. We'll see. I just personally, I'm looking forward more to the 3 o'clock game than I am Chiefs because
Me
I'm just
too.
over. I'm over Chiefs Bills. Like now, it's just getting annoying. You know what I mean? Like, oh, great Chiefs
Yeah.
Bills. That's wonderful. Yippee! Like what the? I
I'm on
was
the same
hearing.
page.
Go ahead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was hearing somebody that said that they can't stand now. Kansas City is getting the hate that the Patriots used to get. Oh, here we
Mhm.
go again. Patriots are in the Super Bowl. Oh my God! I'm not even watching this Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just gets so frustrating, like so frustrating. But it is what it is. I mean, I guess to be fair, what what do you think it means for either team if Kansas City wins? Their second game on the road in the playoffs, or if finally, um, what
Josh
do you
Allen
call it?
could beat Josh Allen could
Yeah,
beat
just kind of somehow managed to beat
Mahomes.
Kansas City. Yeah,
Well,
misfits all
Yeah,
over
you
it.
can squeeze a feel good story out of that if you want to. Being fair
uh,
for them.
yeah.
For the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, you can, for both of them. I mean, they do have it's something a little different, as you noted. You
At
know,
least.
first playoff game ever on the road. If Mahomes loses, they just can't win a playoff road on the road ever. They've never done it. So imagine if they
Oh,
lose.
did
Like
they
Mahomes,
not?
this is his first playoff.
Oh,
This is his first
snap.
playoff game.
This
If
is why I
Mahomes
keep getting
loses, he's
confused. I'm like,
never
but
won
they
a
played the
playoff game.
Dolphins.
Just like Tua, they both suck. I'm just
No,
kidding, of course. I'm
no,
just
no,
messing
no.
with you.
It's cool. It's cool. But I just realized, wait. But everybody kept saying that the first road game, and I'm like, wait, but they played the Dolphins, and now I'm like, they played the Dolphins at home, so this would technically be their first road
Yep.
playoff game. Holy smokes!
For
Yeah.
Mahomes, it is.
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
how he handles that one.
And if
Well,
you have,
Mahomes and company for this regime.
it's
If
just
you
different because Mahomes is in the playoffs is different. It's
Oh,
like
I know.
I'm a
I'm just
Bull
joking
fan. Yeah,
around,
yeah, yeah. Oh
about
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
about
sir.
him never
But
winning a playoff game away. I'm
it's
just,
like my Bulls. It's like my Bulls, and when Jordan's a different animal when he gets into the playoffs. Like yeah, Jordan. And I think and he does well under pressure too. That's what's so good about Mahomes is that he's one of the he's the best quarterback under pressure. Now Josh Allen, if you can get pressure on him, it seems like you can rattle him and he'll throw a couple picks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And that's why
and
I
from it,
yeah go ahead.
yeah, ain't fumbling the ball. Yeah, he get the ball. He fumble the ball. They fumble the ball too. He fumble.
Yep.
Yeah, he fumble the ball. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. See, so
that's
if
true.
it's if can he get that bug off of him? Can he get that chip off his shoulder too? So with
yeah,
me, it's it, it doesn't matter because there's teams that can beat both teams because with the exception of Rice, that receiver that dropped all those passes in the regular season, and then all of a sudden against the Dolphins he had almost 200 yards. If there's like I said, there's just more scenarios for other teams to have like the Lions and the Niners and stuff like that. I don't think they're gonna go make it to the Super Bowl, but the championship game is not bad.
yeah.
It's gonna be
and yeah, he
very
probably will give
interesting,
up.
y'all, because I'll tell you. I mean, oh smokes. Okay, can I say something? I so wish Bills fans weren't here right now because I don't even want to say this. I don't even want to put this out. You know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna put it out
No,
there
no, no.
and let it
Oh, I got a
happen for
great
real.
joke.
So
Oh,
I
I got a
can't.
great
The,
I
joke. Oh, I'm
can't.
not going to tell you.
I Alonso, I can't say it.
Oh,
I
you're
haven't said
killing
this
us.
to one soul, but I've been thinking about it for weeks now, and it's like, please don't let that be the case because I just don't even know what I would do. So let's move on because I just can't.
Red, white, and
I
bills is
just
giving you the green
I'm
light
looking at
here.
the injury report though too. Look up
say it, say it, Miss Miss. Oh, thanks, but uh, I can't. I can't. And
Uh,
let me say this. I'll say this. Do I think that is it me or in the last time that the Bills went to the AFC Championship was with Mahomes, but he's never beaten. Um, I mean against Mahomes, sorry, but he's never beaten him. So
that was that
right
13-2
now,
game.
this is the first. Yeah, yeah. But this is the first time they meet in the divisional round, right? Or because I feel like they always met in the AFC Championship. Am I wrong? Bills fans,
No,
help
you're
me
right.
out
No,
here.
you're right. You're right.
This will
This is
be
the
the
first time
first time that they
they
both
play in
meet
the
in the
division.
divisional round.
Yes.
We played them in AFC and division. Okay, well he says both, so okay. That's why I was like, wait, but I didn't remember if y'all played them in the divisional already. Um, or has it always been AFC Championship? So, eh, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, to be honest with you, it's still going to be a very interesting game. I'll tell you that. It's going to be a very interesting game,
For
and
sure.
I know a lot of people are going to. It's going to be the most watched game. Let's not lie.
yep.
Steve, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, the heck's not. I can't even say. I can't even write it down. Like, so, but a thousand
Yeah, no.
three anyway.
I'm looking at the injury report for the Bills. Gabe Davis is out. That's huge.
Yeah,
And
I
then
talked about it.
Spectre,
I'm like
yeah, because
Rasul.
even
That's who I think. I
yeah,
think Rasul. He'll be the most important one. I don't know if he's officially out, but
well,
Rasul Douglas, if he's out, then I think that that's really gonna give them a little hindrance. But I
I
don't
know
think
where.
he is. I haven't looked up the updated
See,
one.
and this is what it makes me mad about their fan base, that the Bills fan base, is that I was on Dan Mitchell's channel a few weeks back and I called it. I said, Gabe Davis is going to have a great game. And he's just like, oh, the Bills fans wouldn't even pick that. That's a bold prediction if I ever did see one. And what did he do? He came out and got over 100 yards. And I even told him he's going to have a touchdown and one touchdown. So I even told him, I was like, it's taking a Dolphin fan to show you guys what you guys got. If it takes a division rival to show you what you have on your team, I just lose all respect for you. I don't like, and they want to complain about us as a fan base and stuff like that. It's like how can you complain? We don't have other divisional fan bases coming to us and telling us what we got because we know what we have. So it's like that's why I have a deep
They
hatred for
still
the
tell us.
Bills. Yeah,
They
see, but
still
I
tell
can
us.
also tell them too though because like I said, the Gabe Davis game, the last game he did well in the 100-yard game and touchdown. I
Mhm.
told Dan Mitchell straight up. I said that he's going to go off because they don't have a tall corner and oh
I
no
think
Bills
I
fans will
heard
pick
you
that.
say that live. You
Yeah,
said that live,
yeah.
didn't you?
Like actually no I said it to him on his channel and stuff like that and he probably mentioned it or whatever the case
Oh,
may
he
be. But
mentioned
I
it because I was
yeah
listening to a
yeah
random one that he was doing,
yeah
and I think I when he said your name, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
yeah yeah.
But
I go on Richie's podcast. I don't go on
me too.
Trump
I'm
at work.
subscribed to all of them.
Yeah. I don't go on
I'm
Trump at work because Trump at work he thinks he knows a lot, but I'll let him think he knows more than me.
I
But
like what New Finland said here. There is no team beating the Ravens. They came out flat after the first round bye, but found their groove. Niners came out flat as well, but almost different and recovered.
it,
To me, this right here, oh snap! I didn't
no,
even
you got
realize.
to take in consideration now. In the Niner game, it was pouring down rain. People were
Yeah,
slipping everywhere. Yeah,
it
it
did.
was pouring
Yeah,
down rain. So
yeah,
you
but
got to
people.
take that in
This is one thing I
consideration.
can't. I'm like, yo,
It was pouring rain.
it affects both teams. This is why I can't sometimes. Some people, not you, Finch 209,
Yeah,
not you, because
no,
you
you're
reminded
good.
me of you reminded
Yeah.
me of something I wanted to say. How oh it was this weather and that weather. I'm like, y'all act like only half a team, like only one team deals with the weather.
Yeah,
Both teams have to deal with the weather. Like what
oh
the heck?
yes they do, but you also got to take into consideration that too because I know on three different
Hey, what's
plays
up, color?
I counted three different plays where they had cornerbacks literally slip at the line of scrimmage. So is that really their fault? No, it's not.
Well,
Not
I
when it's pouring
actually
rain like
heard
that.
because I was listening to the game, and they said that at halftime they had to change the defense had to change their cleats because they were slipping and sliding
It was
the
pouring.
whole
Yeah, it was
time.
pouring down. See, so that's not so stuff like that. I mean, and our game was freezing. I understand it's freezing and stuff like that, but Tua could have
Yeah.
still they could have ran the ball more, and we
That's
had
what I'm
A
thinking.
chain.
Yep. Yep.
We could
Well,
have ran the ball
wait,
more.
That's what I'm thinking.
We could have. I'm sorry, A chain, and what he's been doing this whole season. Like you're not going to have him go out to the flat or go out to 5 yards and cut out or cut in. Like, come on.
bro, you're about to make me say something I really don't want to say right now. Man. But I will say this, guys: memberships are live. So if you want to be a member, please become a member of the channel. Shout out to all the members in the channel, man. You guys really do help out the channel so much, and it really makes a huge difference. So I appreciate all you guys really becoming the members and really supporting the channel too. Also, too, let's support those who do support the channel as well, like Mr. Chef Jew and Chef Jew's Catering and Sweet Treats. Looking for a great chef to cater your next birthday, business, or office party, etc., with mouth-watering cookies, cakes, pies, and more? Then go ahead and do me a favor and reach out and call Chef Jew at 786-804-8096. That's 786-804-8096 or via Facebook Messenger or Instagram at Chef Jew's Catering. That's Chef Jew, J-U Catering. For more information and mention Miss Phins to get 10% off your catering order. Um, but yeah, me personally right now, I know a lot of people are about to, dump into the tour this and tour that train. And I'm like, look, at the end of the day, we had plenty of opportunities, and unfortunately, we didn't take advantage of it. And that's what it boils
Yep.
down to. Period. That's what it boils down to it. And it's frustrating because, and I was just thinking about that this morning. I was like, I don't mind losing. I've lost my whole life. We all lose every day. You know, whether we
Yep.
lose our keys or we lose, like, we lose all the time. Like, it's part of life. You know what I mean? I don't mind losing, but at least I want to fight and battle when I'm losing. We just laid down, and I'm like, we didn't even, like, half the team showed up. And you know this to be true when the literal players are saying so. Like, you can't even make it. We didn't even try. Like, I just. This is why I didn't want to talk about this game because, man, I'm telling you right now, it just hurt.
Well, now we
And
got
stop
now
the
we
whole
just gotta.
Jordan Love smoking crap. Like, come on.
Okay, now we just
I know
gotta see
Jordan Love
what
won his. Hold
see.
on,
And
real quick. Jordan
yeah,
Love wasn't won his first playoff game, and they were what, 2 field goals away from winning that game. I get it. He had some
yeah,
mistakes too. Every young quarterback first year as a starter, technically
yeah,
his rookie year. Hey, it is
yeah.
what it is. But um,
Well, I just think what can Tua? Okay, I've been hard on him. Yes, I've been hard on him and whatever. But now I got to see. We get to see what he can do from it. So a lot of missed opportunities. Yes, and he knows that. Yes, but what are you going to do about it? So get in the gym. Get in the gym. Work on your workout this whole off season, and start proving people wrong early. You start proving people wrong early and stay consistent throughout the whole year, which he can prove he can. So now just keep taking that next step. Now get us a playoff win, and we're gonna need help whether Chris Greer
that's
wants a
not good
minute or
enough.
not. We need more. We need more help on the offensive line. Just add a center, add a guard, add something that help to out. Give him a little bit more time because he's shown that when he does have the time and he does can look down the receivers, he's a good quarterback. So what can he do?
Yep.
What can he do after this season? This should light a fire underneath him, and this should motivate him even more now.
I'm hoping this off season that, like, he spent that time doing jiu-jitsu to make sure he could make it through a season, which was kind of the primary goal for this year.
Yeah,
That now he's going to focus on some of those. I mean, really like that level of focus on
yeah,
some just key aspects of improvement. That
yes. Now we need to see it in clumps. Now we need to see it not one or two things. We need to see it in clumps, like some people say. Let's show him the clumps. Let's show him we can throw on the outside numbers. Let's show him I can avoid a sack. Let's just show him that I'm a little
Hold
bit
up, hold up,
more
hold up,
mobile.
hold up, hold up. This isn't his second year in the league.
I know.
This
He
isn't
had
his
1 year
third
where he
year
was.
or
Yeah,
fourth year in the league.
well, like I said, some people learn slower than others. Well, we can't
Which
you
is
can't
true, which is
rush it.
why I say he's still
Yeah.
developing, right?
Yeah,
Because I
so
have to
so
hold on
I
to that.
that's why I tell myself
Don't let
too
me
that
keep
some
maintaining
people
here.
do ours because I like myself. If you're not getting in there showing me like what to do, then I'm lost too. So I got to allow him to have a little bit extra time. Everybody wants to hurry up and win. Let's not hurry up and win. Let's give him an extra time. Let's see what he does this next year to answer what he did this year. Now, if he takes a step back, then we can question. We can say officially say he's not a good quarterback. So let's just give him a little bit more tools, a little bit more offensive line people, and because we have the receivers, we have certain spots we don't need people. So let's just get an offensive line, a little better offensive line for him, and see what he can do.
and he is 25, like the
Question.
Mad Hatter said. He's young.
Yeah.
It's true. He's still young, very young.
See,
Is
he's
it easier
25.
to get? Is it easier to change 52 or one? Is it easier to change 52 play or 5 players or one?
It's probably easier to do 5 players because if you already
Yeah.
have you can trade them out. The 5 players you have, you can think about who you can plug in. But one player, it's kind of hard, so like that. And I've seeing through the NFL through my years, I've seen quarterbacks get cut from 7 different teams and go to the A team and be good. I could name a few. Jim Plunkett was one of them, where he got cut by the Niners and got cut by two other organizations, got with the Raiders and went to the Super Bowl. So you got to see the whole picture here. The whole picture is just give him a little bit more time and see what he does next year. You should know by the end of next year what can do or can't do. And
He'll
if you
be
wanna
on
move
contract for longer, but like we said, we can work out. I think that
something.
you know
Yeah, work
the
out
dive
something.
we took kind of helps our contract scenario a little bit to not be locked in.
But this is the thing.
You know,
I guess for me, I'm in the camp personally of I could care less about the money if it's the right guy that's gonna get me to the Super Bowl. I don't care who gets me to the Super Bowl. If Pat White, yes, you hear me, and I didn't stutter. If Pat White can get me to the Super Bowl, I am riding with Pat White. I could care less who it is. Who I don't care about the coaches. I don't care about the team. I don't care about nobody.
Well, if you want to
Get
care
me the
about,
Super Bowl. That's the
if you
only
want
thing
to
I
think
care
about
about.
that aspect, why not? Why not? Chris Greer should go off to the offseason and try to get Russell Wilson then. If you want to think about that aspect,
Why would I trade Tua for Tua?
you're not trading Tua for Tua. You're trading a
Why
guy
would I
that's
trade
been to
Tua
the
for
Super
Tua?
Bowl, the guy that's
for an
gone to the
older
Super
tour.
Bowl. Let's forget about. Let's realize what Russell Wilson did in his second year, that second run that
I'm
he went to the
aware of what
Patriots.
he did.
He had what, 1 for 4, three interceptions, and then in the play, and then in the overtime, he had that one touchdown pass, 50 yard. If he had a Tyreek Hill and a better offensive line, which the Dolphins have a better offensive line than the Seahawks, and they have Tyreek Hill, go get Russell Wilson if you want to think about Super Bowl. Let's be honest. Russell Wilson,
Are
he's
we
not.
gonna
Russell
forget the
Wilson
fact?
is a little bit better because he can see and he can time it right with Tyreek Hill.
So we're just gonna gloss over the fact that he had arguably one of the best defenses in the last 15 years, minus the Ravens that won with Ed Reed and oh my God, Ray Lewis.
Yes.
Come on now.
Listen.
That
Can
Seahawks team
Russell
was
Wilson
led
throw
by
out?
their defense. They were
He
led
was
by their defense.
the receivers they had was not very tall. They were all like 5'11". Baldwin, Curse, like he never really he had DK Metcalf at the end of his career. Yeah, but
What
I'm
what
telling you,
what
give
is
him
one thing
Tyreek
that he
Hill.
can do? What is the
He
one
can
thing
get
that
he
he can
can
do?
get out of the pocket. He can get out of the pocket.
I give you
He
that.
knows how to. He can read more than one read. He can throw on the outside numbers, the sidelines. He if you're going to give him man to man, he knows how to audible. Like let's really dissect here. If you really want to go for a Super Bowl here, then Chris Greer needs to suck it up and just go get Russell Wilson. And it's not Tua for Tua. Russell Wilson is an established quarterback, and he's learned when you get him a good offensive line because they got Max Unger from the Saints a year prior, which is a good solid center, right? So give him an offensive line, give him Tyreek Hill, give him Jalen Waddle, and he uses the tight end too. And if you had Derwin Smythe as a tight end, Derwin Smythe's been wide open more times than not, and he knows how to use the tight end. So let's
They don't
really want
use
to talk
tight
about
ends.
Super Bowl.
Period.
Well,
They
I'm
don't
just
really use tight
he
ends.
can. That's another thing that Wilson could do that Tua can't. Because I know there's a couple more plays, like 4 plays, where I've seen Smythe wide open, and he's not throwing to Smythe. You got to throw to Smythe. So that's if you want to talk about Super Bowl, Russell Wilson's our best bet, easy, hands down. Get Russell Wilson,
Hmm.
our offensive line, give him our offensive line, and that will show people that we're serious about a Super Bowl. So let's be serious about a Super Bowl.
If we were serious, never mind. I'm not even gonna say that. Anyways, um, look, it always comes down to this, and now you got people out here saying stuff that I just to me baffle me, and I'm not even gonna call it out because I just can't. But the only thing I will ask though, guys, again, debate the opinion, be kind to the person. I don't think I have to say this. We're all adults here, but we know that kids do watch this show, and then watch the replay. So please do me a favor and let's go ahead and keep it clean, guys, for us. Thank you so much, so everybody can have a good time while they're here. Also, too, I posted the link on top. So if you guys want to come up here and talk, that's literally the reason why I did it. I was I was in the middle of cleaning. I'm like, I'm gonna take a break. You know what? Let me talk to my fans. Let's talk to some Dolphin fans, football fans in general, because it's football Sunday. You know, we're gonna watch in in a couple hours. Actually, like, what, an hour and a half. We're gonna watch
Yeah.
the Bucks go into Detroit for the divisional round in the NFC. And then we're gonna see at 6:30 the Kansas City
Kansas City
Chiefs
and Buffalo.
go
He beat
into
Buffalo.
I don't even
Buffalo.
know, Highmark. No, Highmark Stadium,
Is
which is
is
Orchard
it?
Park.
Bu-
So
Is that Buffalo?
there you go.
It's at Buffalo.
Yeah, it's Buffalo, but I was
Yeah, but
just
what
naming the
Buffalo?
Okay.
stadium.
They named the stadium anymore.
They're not
Oh
They
yeah.
go.
technically
They go.
in
They go.
Buffalo,
Dude.
New York. That technically
Oh,
their
They
stadium
go.
is in Orchard Park. So
how do you think the Packers fans feel after not dropping that safety that the Lions drafted? Like the Packers were supposed to draft that new safety, that rookie safety, and it turned out to be a stud. And Packer fans, I've been hearing Packer fans, oh man, we should have got that guy, and then all of a sudden he's with the Lions and he's killing it.
yeah, that's another thing. You know what? My cousin Vinny, I think he said it best. What's up, Kenny? Um, we just need to keep questioning Tua, since we now know he is listening. The best Tua ever is coming, hopefully. What's up, Don, Mister
Sure, yeah,
Dolphin
I was
Don? How
gonna
you
say,
doing,
come on
sir?
up, Dolphin Don, because I'm dropping off. So there we go. I'm gonna drop off. I appreciate you having me up. I'll still hang around the peanut gallery here and there, but I got to get some art done. So
No, you're
peace,
good, man.
fins
Thanks for
up.
coming through.
Thanks
Fins
for
up.
being here on Sunday. Peace out
You
to the
welcome.
chat.
Dolphin Don, how you doing, sir? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear him. Is it
I can't
me?
hear him. No, I can hear you. I can't hear him.
Okay.
How about now? How about now?
Yeah,
Hey,
now we can hear
and we're
you.
live, ladies, and we're live. Back to you, Susie.
Yeah, I had to switch microphones. So what I was going to say is, I'm sitting here watching all these playoff games, and I got quarterback envy. I'm sorry,
Do you?
I do. I
What
do.
do
I've been
you
on the tour
mean?
train. I've been trying, but you know what?
I know.
Could it be Love or Stroud?
Yeah, I'm looking at rookie quarterbacks, thinking, wow. He's taking chances. He's throwing it over there. It could go wrong, but no. He's taking a chance, and he's throwing like 26-yard, 3rd and 18 passes and make them. So there's that. And I think Dan Marino wanted Justin Herbert last time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can see the look on his face when they were trying to
Wait,
open those
what?
presents.
Yeah. So why don't we take one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever had in freaking franchise history and let him kind of scout who our next quarterback should be?
Because Chris Greer doesn't want to look like a liar.
Ugh,
No. It's
pride's
because
got
then
nothing to
we would have to admit that
Yeah.
the previous regime
Was right.
was
And that's
possibly
that,
correct
and that's
on
making
their
him look like a liar.
assessment of what we may have at QB.
Hey, nothing wrong with
And
that.
that would be too bad, because then you're talking about Tannehill 7-year plan,
Yeah,
and
that's the thing
then
too.
you'd have this one too. That'd be back to back. Like,
Yeah, bad ones. It wasn't even a
no,
bad one.
it's
It wasn't even a
honestly,
bad one with Tannehill because Tannehill
I
had the
still love
yeah
Tannehill. He was
yeah
never given a team, so Tannehill. You know what? Tannehill in this team, I feel like he would be. He would take us to the AFC Championship. I do. And you know what? He can take a punch because he had to. Back to back years, number one sack quarterback in the league. So
yeah. And then he had the most 50-yard touchdown passes with Kenny Stills and Grant and stuff like that. So that's why I think right now, if you can go get him for cheap, because the Titans don't want him, they want their young quarterback to take over. Go get Tannehill back. See what Tannehill can
That
do with Tyreek Hill and with Jalen Waddle.
that's not gonna
That's
happen.
good.
I know that's not
That,
going to happen. But that's the most common. That's the most logical thing to happen, like that from my standpoint, because like you said, he proved that he's tough and he's durable. Yeah, he's a little bit older, but if you never had a Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, so give him the chance.
Well,
Just
nobody has had a Tyreek. No one has had Tyreek squared. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
That's why my
that's
whole thing is you get a quarterback that can throw in the outside numbers, which is Tannehill already proves that he can, and he's a mobile quarterback too because he can run when needed.
well, we're coming up against the salary cap, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure a veteran quarterback is really, feasible to keep some of the team. Like I don't want to lose Ginkle. There's a bunch of players I don't want to lose. They're like on the verge of like they got to say adios. But so I'm like, hey, let's draft a guy. Let's try this Bo Nix guy.
Yeah.
Sure, it's gonna be some growing pains, but then we can keep the core of the team around them.
Yeah.
okay. I gotta ask y'all. Y'all think we're gonna keep you guys think we're gonna keep this the general theme coming back next year? Do you guys think so?
Hopefully, if they want to stay, because with what Tua approved this year, if I don't wouldn't blame them if they want to walk. Like you talking about Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt's talking about leaving because you don't want to go somewhere where they're not, and they don't feel like they're going to go to the playoffs one and not win a game.
Yeah.
So let's show our players that we are making the right decisions, and that starts with Chris Greer. Okay, manning up. Not who cares? You were wrong. Okay, it happens all the time. People are wrong in the NFL all the time. So let's just cut it off and repair it, like you said, because now's the time to do that because we have Tyreek Hill for this amount of time. Because after him, we're not going to have, like you said, we're not going to have a Tyreek Hill. Nobody else is going to have a Tyreek Hill. So let's use our powers, our decision making, to show that the players that we're making the right decisions.
Yep.
Yeah, and you never know how many players he lost by getting Chubb hurt out there, keeping him in a game that didn't matter. So I don't know if that's something, but some of the players might think, well, you know what?
Let me go somewhere else.
Yeah, see what's out there.
So you think the team lost faith in the team?
Would you? I mean, would you? This is their livelihood and stuff like that. If there's somewhere where you can get a raise and you just have to go to a different city, that happens all the time.
It's all relative. It's all relative because if you go somewhere that has state taxes, you're still gonna make less.
But it doesn't matter because the winning's there. So until the endorsement deals come with the winning. And why would you stay in a team that's not winning and not getting the endorsement deals?
Well, who says we weren't winning? We went 11-6, and we're number 2
Yeah,
in
I
our
understand
division.
that. Yeah, but and that all. And how many playoff wins do we have? And that made us. We went to the division.
0, just like everybody that lost in the first round. Like balance. You can't. You know what I mean? Like I understand being upset with Tua and the drop off in December that has been consistent in the last 4 years. Nobody can deny that. Some people will. But at the end of the day, it's still a winning team. We've had 4 back-to-back winning seasons. That's also something to see. This is a winning team. Unfortunately, it just can't win enough and get over the hump. Some would say for certain reasons, others would say for others. But at the end of the day, the winning is here.
It makes
it's
more
the
sense
than winning.
It makes more sense than to make a quick fix, right? Why you have these guys together?
Yeah, but then what's easy? And then that's why I asked earlier, what's easier to change, 5 or 1?
Well, you could. I mean, yeah. You kind of. Yeah. But I don't think Chris Greer will make that decision of passing on to and not giving him the contract because, like you said, everybody's saying they're going to give him the contract. Well, how about Fields? Well, are they going to get Fields? If they get Fields, would he get his contract still?
I
I
don't know
think
why
they're going
people
to
are so
definitely
like.
give Tua the contract. It's just not, it's inevitable at this point.
Why are people in love with Fields? Like,
I'm not
I
in
don't
love with
understand
Fields.
why
I'm
they
just
think.
saying people are
No,
talking about
they
that.
think it's gonna happen. How
I
many
don't
more
know.
ways does a team have to say
Well,
that they're
Fields is
Well,
going?
much more mobile, but
the
he's
Bears
not as
have the
accurate.
first. The Bears have the first pick. No.
But again, how many more ways does a team have to say that they're sticking with Tua? They already told you multiple times. Now,
Yeah.
the only cop out that I will say, and I have to write this down because I'm like, did I just hear what I thought I heard when I thought I heard it? And Greer, I think the people glossed over this, and I'm like, ooh. In the press conference, Greer said, and I quote, "We're looking to have Tua. The goal is long term here, playing at a high level." And that's the disclaimer part of what he said. That, but people glossed over that. They're looking to have Tua here. I'm like, ooh, but wait a minute. Is this
At
them
a high
saying
level. Yeah.
what?
Well, then, most passing yards in the league is kind of a high level, so we can't read into that too much either.
I know, but some would say that a high level could mean, postseason production. It could mean end of the season
Yeah.
production.
Yeah. It could also mean that.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm playing devil's advocate, I know, but it's
Yeah.
something that I feel like most people, they kind of like missed.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
like they just like sometimes gloss over certain things in these press conferences that I'm like, ooh, this is a little key.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's instantly I knew we weren't moving forward. Robert Hunt or Wilkins and Connor Williams is there. It looks like they might
I'm
still be
not at all
negotiating, but
sad for Wilkins. Wilkins can go.
Mm.
you say that, but
Well,
what happened to Tony Pollard when Ezekiel Elliott left? His numbers went down. Why did his numbers went down? Well, just like X's numbers went down once Byron was gone, people play better when they have that 1-2 punch. And unfortunately, not having Wilkins on the other side, it might affect Sealer next year.
no,
It might
no.
affect Sealer.
I don't think so. I think defensive tackles like that and you have Vangio. Vangio can actually find and locate a good defensive tackle, possibly even a better one, a bigger one. I'm saying, who's our recruiters? Our recruiters need to get. I don't know what our recruiters have been doing the last couple of years, but
What do you
I
mean
don't know.
recruiters?
Like,
Like our
yeah, our recruit. Like, who's recruiting these guys? Like, who's
Are we even
recruiting?
listening to the recruiters?
Yeah, like
I was just gonna say, 1 second, Mark. Yeah, you're talking about the scouts,
yeah,
and the
scouts.
scouting
Yeah,
report.
scouts. Yeah, we need to have better
So
scouts. That's what it
our
comes down to
scouts,
too.
our scouts do great. The problem is that at the end of the day, they don't make the decisions. That'll
Right.
be the front
No,
office,
Miss
and
Phins,
ninety
your
percent of the
scouts
time,
don't do
that
great.
would
I'm
be
s- I,
that would
I'm
be
sorry.
90%
Mark,
of the time that would be Greer, the one making those decisions. But
See,
unfortunately, it doesn't matter what you scout out there. If you're not gonna be listened to, then you're just doing your job just to
Uh,
do your job. But what's up,
Miss
Mark?
Phins, can I can
Welcome.
I can I contest this? Okay, your
Go
scouts are
ahead.
not doing a good job. You've got 8 draft picks in the last 2 rounds. You've got one that succeeded. 7 of them have done absolutely almost less than nothing. Tyndall, nothing.
So wait a
Cam
minute. You're
Smith,
saying
nothing.
nothing.
Ezukama, nothing. Good,
I
next
get
to
that,
nothing.
but you're saying
It's not good
that those
scouting,
are
and
the
it's piss
only
poor player
players that we
development.
scouted? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just telling you
Those are the
what's the
only
matter with your
players?
what's the matter? Okay, Miss Fins, let me ask a question here for everybody because this is the question that nobody wants to seem to answer in any of these panels. What is going on with the continual screw ups with this general manager? Bad draft choices, horrific coaching hires, scandals all over the place, poor player development, and an
Yep.
inability to succeed in any capacity.
He doesn't want to
Somebody
be
answer
prove a
that question
liar.
for me,
Yep.
please.
He doesn't want, yeah, and that's why he's making the bad decision. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't want
Yeah,
to be
well,
proved. He doesn't want to prove Brian Flores right. He doesn't want to be called a liar. So
you
what?
Hey,
guys
That's
are
why I'm
going
telling that.
under.
I can't disagree with
Sorry, go ahead and
anything
finish.
you said, Mark.
Finch 209. Go ahead and finish, and then I'm gonna answer
No,
that
I'm just
question.
saying, like, if he cuts it off now, it'd be fine. Like, if we go get somebody better, but he's gonna do everything in his power to prove to everybody that he wasn't a liar. So let's not do
I
that.
want
Let's
you all to go back.
Hold on, Mark, because I want to answer the question since you did ask it. You guys are going under the premise of our draft picks are the only players that we scout. There is a board for a reason. Our scouts, their jobs is to take a look at based on the parameters of what the GM and the coaches are looking for. They go out there, they look at the different players, they bring out a scouting report for multiple players and multiple positions based on the needs that the general manager is looking to fill. Now, just because we draft a certain player, that doesn't mean that that was the only player that we scouted, A. And B, it also doesn't mean that just because those were the picks that anybody bats 1,000. Please name me the team that bats 1,000 when it comes to draft picks.
Teams don't
Okay,
bat 1,000, Miss Fins, but what teams
okay
do
then.
is teams win and they develop the talent and they develop
Yep.
cheaper talent. You know,
Yep.
smaller marble going into the pipe, bigger marble coming out of the bottom of the pipe. That's the way it's supposed to work. But when you don't draft well, what happens is you have to overpay for free agents, and now you have a bloated roster with $41 million of salary cap
Yeah,
and 37
it's true.
signed players, and you're screwed. You're toast.
Well, I mean,
And
I don't get.
you can't,
I
you
mean,
can't, like,
yeah, that's true. So
you can't bat 1,000, but you can bat pretty good, pretty close to it, can't you? Look
Well,
at
the
no
look
problem,
at.
team, no team bats close to 1,000.
Well, you could,
Nobody wins
okay.
the. Nobody, even the Jets, who I personally said 2 years ago in the draft, and I said, man, the number one team that got the best picks based on that moment were the Jets, and up to the point they were. But how many of
Okay.
those players were either super injury prone that didn't even step on the field practically? Other players that just couldn't hack it, but they still got maybe 2 or 3 games out of the like what 12 picks they had. You guys again, you're assuming that all these players are gonna hit, and they're not. Like you're lucky
But some
if
of them
you
do.
get
but
2 or 3 really good ones that you can develop, that you can grow. And you guys, and this is the other thing people forget, especially about the Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins franchise, we're one of the best developing teams. The only problem is we don't keep the players we develop. They all get
Who do you?
shipped out. Bye bye.
Oh
Bye
my God,
bye.
who have you?
Bye bye.
Who have you developed?
That's what we
Who?
do.
Go back to 2012. Who have you developed out of 2012? You got one player that's developed, Blake Ferguson. Brandon Jones is gone at the end of the year. Raekwon Davis is gone at the end of the year. Hunt's gone at the
You
end of
said
the year.
2012.
Tua's been a bust. Austin Jackson's been close to being a bust. And the rest of the guys aren't even in
Austin
the NFL
Jackson
anymore.
a
Give me a break.
bust?
No, I said
Austin
Austin
Jackson?
Jackson. I would take about 20 offensive tackles ahead before I would take Austin Jackson.
Okay, that's great. He's who we got.
And
He's
and
actually
you just
pretty
paid
good.
that guy you just paid that guy $13 million. Whoopee! I'm thrilled.
Yeah, yeah.
well, let's get back
I'm
to
glad
it.
you're thrilled. So, like
Chris
I don't know,
Greer.
like he's the one that we drafted, we developed, and now we gave him an opportunity. He finally got healthier. He's actually shown that he could be reliable, and he did his job this season. He was actually
Of
one of
course,
the
on the
most
other hand, you could
consistent
have drafted.
players. He's one of the players that we had that played most consistently. So I
Yeah,
don't get
of
it.
course, you
Like
could have drafted Trifton Wirtz, who plays better. You could have drafted Jordan Love, who plays
we could
better,
have drafted
and
a
you could have
million
drafted
players that
something other than a piece of trash that ended up Noah Igba.
well, you know
Well,
Yeah.
what?
see,
It was a developmental player that just didn't work out. I mean, it is what it is. Again, nobody bats
So where's
1,000.
your problem,
If
Miss
we,
Finn?
I want to put it out there.
1 second, Mark. If we were to go, everybody can play GM after the fact when you're looking at a draft pick 2, 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line. Nobody knows what's going to happen to a player, no matter how good their scouting report is. Key example, number 199th pick. What did he end up doing? Winning 7 Super Bowls. Nobody had that in his future. But guess what? It still
Well,
happened. So at the end of the
Tua's
day,
the
you
number
don't know
5
what
pick
you're
and hasn't won
getting.
a playoff.
Yeah, I get that, Mark, and we know this. But you gotta give me a second to finish. You don't know what the players are gonna be. You just have to take a chance. That's the whole point of drafting.
Well, kind of.
Now
Well,
go ahead.
hang on.
No wait, Finch
And
209. Let Mark say. Let Mark, because I know he wanted to say something, and then you can go. Go ahead,
Historically,
Mark.
this team does not develop players. They don't do it. They haven't done it for the longest time. And I don't want to go back over years and years and years of drafting mistakes, but what I'm telling you and other intelligent posters on, that are doing Dolphins are going to tell you, like TD, who is a true football fan, will tell you when you don't succeed in a draft and you can't develop the personnel that you draft, you have to overpay in free agency, which causes the roster chaos.
Yep.
It's fact.
Yeah, I mean that's a fact. I don't understand why you keep you acting like I haven't said that before. And like we don't already know this. That is a
No, you
fact. That's for
continue to
all
support.
32 teams. All 32 teams.
You continue
32
to
teams.
blindly follow Chris Greer, and you don't realize
How
that
have
he's
I
the bully
blindly
of your
followed
problem.
Chris Greer? How have I
I'm
blindly
not
followed
saying
Chris Greer?
fire his moronic butt and get him out of town on a train yesterday.
Yep.
Then thank you so much, Mark. Then now I know for a fact you don't listen to this show all the time because I've said it already multiple times for the last 2 years. And my issues with Ross, Greer,
I
the
personally
QB, the
think he's
offensive
got
line,
something.
middle linebackers. I've talked about it so many times. Which now, thank you very much. Now I know you don't listen to the show all the time, so it makes sense why you think I never said that. But that's fine. Let
Think,
Fitz
Miss Phins,
209.
the only reason that
You literally
Ross
just said
hasn't
that.
fired him
You literally just said I never said.
is because Greer has something on him that would affect the Dolphins in their league status. I think he's got something on him, and that's what he's holding over Ross. Because if Ross doesn't fire him, I told this to Color, and yes, everybody's going to denigrate me for this. I said the Bills only got better after their owner died, and the new one came into place and changed the whole thing. They changed the front office, they changed the coaching staff, they changed everything. He was 95 years old and he passed in his sleep. Thank God for that. But until your owner disassociates himself with the Miami Dolphins, I think you're dead.
We're unfortunately we're like the Cowboys. Unless Jerry Jones gets out his own way, he's not gonna win a Super Bowl. Unless Chris Greer, unless Ross gets out of his own way, and Greer out of here, we're not gonna get anywhere. And I've said this multiple times, which is the frustration of this team. But that doesn't change because I say it or a million times. I've said it multiple times, and then I just keep moving to another point. But go ahead, Finch 209, because I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, that's why I was saying. How far would he go to prove that to everybody that he's not a liar? He just needs to nip it in the bud and just be a man about it and move on.
No, because he wants to save his job.
Hey, I want to know this too.
Okay, go ahead.
Chris Greer is a riverboat gambler, man. He bets the whole dice on a long shot sometimes. So I mean, he drafted a Noah Igbenogany over who that cat we drafted over Meinertz, the outstanding player for Denver right now. We jumped up a couple picks for him too. I can't remember who it was. That's what I'm talking about.
Patrick Surtain?
No, it was.
No, we didn't have a shot to get Surtain.
No, we didn't. But yeah, that's what I mean.
T. Higgins, you could have had Jonathan Taylor, you could have had Gabriel Davis, you could have had a whole bunch of players. But you got Noah. Congratulations.
Bunch of players. So
yeah,
a
that's like
developing player that we were looking into.
Phillips the same way. The Phillips that defensive tackle a few years back the same way. We moved up from the Raiders and from Oregon and got him. Didn't get no production out of him. Didn't get no production.
I think you're talking about Deion Jordan, who was a drug addict.
Yeah, there you go.
Deion
Jordan. Yeah,
I met him.
And then Smith from Missouri.
How's that
another
Charles
one.
Harris pick looking over T.J. Watt?
Yeah, Harris. Yeah. Harris. That's the Missouri Tiger guy, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, over T.J. Watt. Yeah, there you go. See that I see your point there. I see your part there, Mac. That I understand that, but Yeah, we gotta do better for that. We gotta
Yeah,
do way, way
the
Well,
sad
better.
thing
every
is, and I'm
team
not
can
trying to be
do
arrogant here,
better.
but I know more about your team than most of your
Yeah.
fan base does, and that's sad in and of itself.
I've been saying that
Mark,
Sad
too.
for
you
me and
are
sad for your fan
literally
base.
a Dolphin fan. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, that's good.
You've admitted this. There is film out there. Everybody knows. You admit it. You are a Dolphin fan. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I like
I
you
expect
guys.
you
I
to
don't
know the
want you to
team.
fail.
Like
I
you're
don't want
literally
you
a
guys
Dolphin
to
fan. You
fail.
literally say here. Like there is receipts if you saying you're a Dolphin fan. So, dude, that's why
I
I know you
agree.
know this team.
He's not disagreeing. Yeah.
Like
That's why I'm so upset. That's why I'm so angry.
I know that's why you're angry. You don't think we're angry too, man? Like this sucks. It absolutely sucks. But that's the life of a Dolphin fan, which is my quote. We win together, we lose together, Dolphins for life. Because I'm a
Yeah,
fan.
it wasn't
It
Joe Robbie and
sucks.
Don Shula's. It wasn't Don Shula and Joe Robbie's mindset.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's
That's
the
for
life
sure.
of a Dolphin fan. Like that's what else? What
And
else can we
another
say?
area I'd like to bring up, and maybe I'd like to get some other people's opinion. But what's going on with your strength and conditioning staff?
Something,
What
something,
is
right?
that all about?
Jeez.
Something.
I don't know.
Just kick us while we're dead. No, I'm joking.
I don't
Something.
know.
I,
They're
you
gonna
I'm
know
not
what?
have to
signaling you
clean
down there,
house.
guys. I'm just saying, where's your strength and conditioning? This team habitually, they in the Chargers and the Jets are like the three worst teams that get beaten up every year with injuries. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, and then what's more
Let
insane
me,
though is we could have had Dan Campbell as head coach.
and
I
you
mean,
guys,
yeah,
the thing
but
is,
we
you know
weren't
what
gonna give
confused
him
me?
the
You guys,
shot.
Ross was spending like major bucks for a new facility, new train, or I think he put in a new training facility and state of the art
He
medical
did.
stuff, and it's still happening.
Everything brand
It's
spanking
ridiculous.
new. Everything brand spanking new. But you know, I mean that this is and a lot of and I get it. You know, he's throwing money in the kitchen sink. At the end of the day, I think our issue is, and this is where I see it. It's because we have no stability. Period. We have to stick with one and let it ride. Because at the end of the day, right now changing every 3 years, it's not gonna cut it. But you see those teams that are very successful that end up winning Super Bowls are either the teams that have been together for a very long time or literally are $100 million over the salary cap for 1 year. Those are the you can't halfway it like the Dolphins are doing. You either go a hundred
No,
million, you got either go 100 million deficit in the salary cap and buy everybody and get your Super Bowl for that 1 year, or you're gonna have to have a regime for a long time so they can go through the lumps, bring in and develop young player, young talent, and then be able to go ahead and go on a run.
you
That's
know
it.
what, Miss Fins, the Rams
It
went
is
to
what
two
it
Super
is.
Bowls. They won one, and they're a playoff team again. You know, San Francisco's
Yeah,
been a stable organization for years. Baltimore's been a stable organization for year after year after year. And the Bills have turned into a stable organization now that they've stopped all their stuff year after year after year. The
I
Steelers,
agree.
they're always
I
going
can
to be
still.
good. Three coaches in
I wish
40
we were
in
like the
50 years.
Steelers.
You know, this stuff goes on and on and on. And you're right. You are 100% spot on, dead right about stability. And I
It's
just think that,
frustrating.
and I'm not sure where I'm at with McDaniel as a coach. I'll be honest with you. I think he's very innovative. I think there are mistakes that are made, but on the other hand, I have Sean
Well, he's
McDermott
a
who makes
young
a
coach.
crap ton of mistakes.
Yeah,
He
he's a
makes a
young
ton of
coach.
mistakes
He
at
needs to
times.
develop too.
But I
So
just think
yeah,
I just think you've got to find a GM and a player personnel that's going to work with McDaniels, because I think McDaniels should stay.
Yep.
I just think Greer should be gone, and I think you should have a guy that works hand in hand with McDaniel, works hand in hand, maybe not Fangio so much, but there's a kid from Baltimore that's a second-year defensive coordinator, and his name I think is my gosh, I think it's McDaniel, or very something very
McDonald.
close to it. I saw him profiled yesterday.
stop. McDaniel is his name. So
I
Coach
think,
McDaniel
yeah, I forget
and
who
GM
he's
McDaniel.
a second-year defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens.
McDonald. It's Michael
Yeah,
McDonald.
McDonald.
McDonald. Okay,
Okay, because I
thank you.
was
It is. It's Michael
hit the
McDonald.
And
like button,
I would be
guys. Hit the like button.
I would be seriously thinking about getting that gentleman an interview as an assistant head coach, maybe move Fangio on, because I just don't think Fangio, and he comes in, he has a system in mind, and I don't agree with coaches that come in and have a system and then say, well, my system didn't work because you didn't give me the players that I wanted. It's your job to make it work, dude. Don't give me this, well, I didn't have the players that I needed, so therefore,
I agree.
No.
Yeah. Well, let me welcome real quick everybody to the
Mr.
Wild
Color.
Wild West. What's up, Color Commentary? My co-host on Wednesdays night, 8 p.m. You can catch me and Mr. Color at League Wide Wednesdays, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Here is Color.
Good afternoon, Miss Phins. I see you were as bored as the rest of us.
Yeah, pretty much.
We got a game in an hour, kids. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. Thank God.
Speaking of
watching
which,
other
I will
teams
be.
play.
El Capitan wanted to call the Bucks Lions because look, there's it's going to be a fun game. I think there's a lot of
I
big
agree.
time, a lot of NFL storylines that are interesting. So he was going to call it, but he's not feeling really well, and computers on the fritz. So I'm creating the stream now, and I will be attempting to do it as long as my voice will hold out.
Color, you're awesome.
So rather
Keep
than
it.
look for volunteers to help catch my voice up, I was going to let you know, Miss Phins, in case you wanted to join me over on the tailgate for the game.
Hey, Miss Phins, it's your opportunity. Hit the big time. Call a game.
No, I mean this
Pretty large, yeah.
this would be number 3. We already done this together, Color and I, twice already. So
Yeah, we'll be doing this one on the tailgate too. So
And I assume
Alright.
TD's gonna live stream the Bills game.
I mean, yeah, you have your major players that they always do it. TD is a great stream. I tune into him all the time. You got DDW also doing it. Even Chap Sports, they do it too. There's a few people.
Oh, give that guy some help.
but
He was getting a
also
little bit of heat.
you've been right on with us on the tailgate as far as your as far as your how you feel about the Lions and their chances and how they've come up and all that. You've been right there with us all, recognizing their rise. So
literally,
that's another reason I'd be glad to have you join. Plus, you got 2 first overall picks facing off against each other, both of which who have had some success and both of which have big questions still hanging over them.
Redemption game.
I think that's a great storyline right there in and of itself.
Literally what I said earlier today.
With both head coaches were interim coaches after we fired one of our coaches. Both coaches were not given a chance by the Dolphins to be hired after they were interim coaches for us, and both arguably should have had that chance. So we'll find that out today too.
Yeah, guys, do me a favor real quick before we continue here, because we're having such a great stream, guys. I appreciate it. We got 55, almost 60 y'all, and only 34 likes. If you guys can hit the like button for me, can we get 26 more likes to get to 60? Can we get 26 more likes, guys? It's simple, it's free. Just hit that like button. It really helps out the channel, guys. Where we can continue to do fun shows like this. You know what I mean? So hit that like button for me, guys. Thanks. Okay, continue. But yeah, no, I was literally saying that, Color, earlier today. It's like you got 2 first round picks who were essentially discarded by their team that drafted them. So now they get to prove a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm looking. So this is like the game I'm looking forward to more than any other game. You know what I mean? Like This is the game that I was like, oof! I circled this puppy. I was like, yes, I need to see Lions Bucks, especially with the whole. Baker is baking now, and Dan Campbell is literally running through walls and getting his team ready. So, no, I think this is going to be really, really good games for sure. So we just gotta see. I mean, at the end of the day, let's see who steps up to the plate.
How do you folks see it? I see the Lions Bucks game as kind of an offensive game, like 27 leads to win.
Yeah.
And I see the Bills Chiefs game about a 20-point game, the first 1 to 20 wins. What do you guys think?
That sounds about right.
What's the weather there, Mark?
In Buffalo, 23, 10 mile an hour winds, no snow.
Oh, so
That's gonna be high. That's gonna be a high score game.
that's
That might
a
be a high
sunny
scoring
day
game.
in Buffalo.
It depends on if
I'm not gonna be
Mahomes' receivers doesn't drop any balls. If they don't drop
And
any
there should
balls,
be
it'll be a high
no.
score game.
It's in a don't. I mean, you're talking about the Bills Chiefs
Bill
game.
game,
Yeah, the Bills
Yeah,
Yeah,
game's out in
yeah,
weather, but it's not bad. It's like 23
and,
degrees and
and
a little
obviously,
cloudy.
given how Mahomes played the other night in sub-zero temperatures, I think there should be no issues there.
Yeah, but it's
yeah, I
outside
don't
of
think so either.
KC. Buffalo Bills fans are going to
Yeah.
be throwing snowballs and stuff like that. KC's not used to
Let's
that
let's
kind of
let's
stuff.
hope not. That's just so tasteless.
Well,
Yeah.
no. Hey,
I
if
mean,
you know
they
what, if
literally
Miami
piled
had
them
some
on though, so
snowballs,
it's not
we'd be
like we're
throwing
trying
them.
to troll. We're not trying
No,
to troll. You're right, Dolphin
No,
Don.
I'm not saying no.
Literally.
I want to relate a little
Yeah,
story to that.
yeah.
Back in
Hoping the Bills fans don't throw snowballs is like hoping Josh Allen doesn't throw footballs.
Yeah. Anyway, in 1975, I want to share this with you. I was at a Bills-Vikings game, last game of the season. The Bills were in the midst of an 8-6 season. After a great start, they blew the playoffs because their defense was horrid. And O.J. Simpson and Chuck Foreman were both in contention to have the most touchdowns in a season. Some idiot Buffalo fan threw a snowball and hit Chuck Foreman in the eye and pushed him out of that game. So O.J. Simpson ended up getting the particular thing about most touchdowns in a season. One of the most tasteless things I've ever seen in my life, and I've been ticked off ever since by anybody that throws snowballs.
Well,
And
that's
Yes,
correct,
unfortunately, you have some
Monjo.
of them classless people who do that.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
correct,
teach class.
Monjo. Todd Bowles, I believe, was our interim after we fired Cam Cameron, and Campbell was obviously our interim after we fired Philbin.
Philbin, yeah. Which I
Should
meant.
have kept Campbell.
I
And we
meant.
can't forget about Zach Taylor either, honestly, guys. You guys had Zach Taylor with the Bengals now. And, of course,
Zach
the
Taylor, you
epitome
mean
of a
Zach
mistake that
Thomas?
Miami made. Well, the epitome of mistakes that Miami made for
Zach
coaching
Taylor
is they
and
turned
their
away Tomlin because he was too hip-hop.
Mark, both
That's-
Zach Taylor and their offensive coordinator Bill Lazor were both with the Dolphins.
And there's no justification for turning down Mike Tomlin for a job 15 years ago. How many Super Bowls would Miami have won with Mike Tomlin as head coach?
oh my God.
Jesus, I don't even want to know.
That
At
would have been
least
scary.
one. I
More
feel
than the
I
Bills.
feel
I don't know. More than the Bills. That I do know.
Facts. As they call you're spot on right.
Actually, yeah, for sure. I mean, I would think at least one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good. It's not tough to
Considering how
overcome
many
zero.
Steelers won with Tomlin. You know.
Yeah, Tomlin is definitely, and this is one thing I admire about the Steelers, man. 3 coaches in literally like 60, 70, 80 years, like
Well,
that.
from like 69 to 20. Yeah, it's like 31, 55 years,
It's like
54 years.
almost.
That's
Three
Well,
great
60
coaches. Yeah.
But you're talking about consistency, high level of competitiveness, and you're talking about all 3 of them are Super Bowl champs. Every single one of those 3 are Super Bowl champs. So for me, it's
My son-in-law is a huge Steeler fan. And he's got Steeler paraphernalia hanging up in the garage and stuff. And I stare every day at 6 Super Bowls, and I'm looking at, a trophy case full of nothing.
Well,
That's
yeah, my
complex,
brother's a
but we got
Steelers
two.
fan, so I get it.
That's been us for the past 50 years, feels like.
My wife,
No?
she's a Cowboy fan. So like TD, I'm a Dolphins fan. My wife is a Cowboy fan.
Oh, these house divided, man. I'm telling you,
Mhm.
they hurt. They hurt. But you know what? It's still cool because you get to see different perspectives. You know what I mean? From
Yeah.
other fan bases.
I got to be honest with you guys. If with the Bills and Josh Allen, if not now, when? You got every advantage you could possibly have.
Oh,
You have
if
a
not
better
now,
football team. You have
yeah.
a home game.
If not
If
now,
if
dude.
not now, when?
it
It ain't
won't
gonna
happen.
happen if it's not this year. I'm sorry, Mark.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
I don't mean to
Because
burst your
to me,
bubble.
it doesn't come down to
Bills
when.
fan.
It comes down to if.
It really
Well-
is. It is this year or nothing. Like I do not see you guys having any. You'll have shot. You'll be in the playoffs. You'll probably go into the divisional. You might even get into one more AFC championship. But
I can actually
Yeah.
answer that question, Mark.
go ahead, Color.
If not
Please.
now, then whenever you don't have to face the Kansas City Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens in consecutive weeks.
Uh,
Hey,
Well,
Baltimore,
when
Baltimore
does
used
Josh
to.
Allen's
God,
money
this
kick
is
in?
tough.
When does
Well,
Josh Allen's money?
it already kicked in, but the biggest amount will
it's
be
already
next year,
kicked in, but they
47
can
million.
move it.
Oh,
They can move his money all over the place. They have a very
So
flexible
this
contract
year
with
is
Josh. So
35
That's
million.
good.
So he's 35 million cap hit this year. Next year he'll be 47. It's the highest for his contract.
but they'll drop it
But
30 million and
but
extend the contract
we'll
out. They'll
see.
play funny
Yeah,
money.
they'll give him voidable years to try to move that down the line. But at the end of
I
the
question what the
day,
Jets are.
it's
How
still
many
too
how many years
much
are the
money,
Jets gonna
man.
have to put
I think
avoidable years
Buffalo
on
is
because they
getting
owe Aaron
rolled, dude.
107 million next year.
Ooh,
So how many avoidable years are the Jets going to add on to Aaron Rodgers' contract? Because they owe him 107 million.
he doesn't want to play that many extra years.
They're going to
he
play.
got hurt.
No,
He
that's
didn't
the
have to
beauty of
play a whole
avoidable
year.
contracts. They'll run the contract out 5 years and pay him $20 million a year when he's been retired and sitting with his feet
Make
up on
it
the
10
sofa.
years and pay him
Ghost
5 million a
contract.
year. Like, ugh.
Uh,
It's the same thing you guys have had to do with Von Miller. You guys paid, and I knew the
Well,
second you guys paid that man 6 years. What was it? 6 years. If I'm not
80
mistaken,
million?
180 million or something like that.
they
It was
paid
a
a
big
ridiculous
contract.
amount of money for Von
It
Miller, and
was
it
a
was fine up
ridiculous
until he got hurt
contract.
in Detroit, and then he
yeah.
was never able to come back. And that's why I have concerns next year for you guys as Chubb and Phillips. Because
Yeah. Yeah. We're not going
those
to see
players may
them.
come back next year, but they're not going to be the same players until 2025 at least.
Right.
No,
Right.
because they'll essentially be back mid-season, and by then it's like you're already out of football conditioning period that you
Well,
need to
and you
be
don't
able to.
recover. Von Miller never recovered from that injury, and it may be an age thing. He never does recover.
It could
He
be an
may
age
come
thing.
back and be good next year, but right now, I mean, you could put him out on a rocking chair for all he's worth.
Well, right now
I'd
the
sit him
good thing
today.
is Philip and Chubb are both young, so they have that going for them. Hopefully, they'll be able to overcome and still,
Well, with Chubb, it's a
be
second knee injury.
productive.
That's where my concern is with him. Is it's the
Yeah.
second, it's the other knee, but it's still two knee injuries. So
Yeah,
now you
but
got bad wheels on both sides.
We can see
we've seen where he's been.
what they do in the off season. See what they could do because they can have a work ethic. If it all boils down to work ethic, if they can have a work ethic, good off season, then sooner. But because they're young, but like you said, two injuries,
No,
yeah,
Mike.
that
Okay.
kind of
Um.
concern.
Uh. Yeah. Phillips. Yeah. You're right. Phillips was the Achilles. Chubb was the MCL.
Yeah,
So
Phillips' injury is actually far worse because that takes literally a year to come back from.
yeah, and
The
prove
ACL
enough.
should be back in 9
Unless you got
months.
ayahuasca, uh, you're g-
I
So
mean, the
you're
only guy
gonna
I've ever
still
seen come
need to
back
take
is
time.
Adrian Peterson that comes back and he runs for like 2,000 yards the next year. Like, okay, that guy's the unicorn.
next week, if the Bucks
For
win,
real.
next week it'll be Garnett and White versus Garnett and Pewter.
No, it won't.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
49ers versus
well,
Bucks. That
the
would be
Bucks
an
will wear their
ugly
white
game.
uniforms, but
That would
yeah,
No,
just
then
be
it's
ugly.
one of them has to wear their white uniform. They can't
Right, but
both
I'm
wear their.
saying the overall theme would be Garnett and White versus Garnett and Pewter.
Which you just hit on something that I forgot to say, everybody. So you know that whole. I'm not a conspiracy theorist like some people, aka
you're
my
sure
brother.
about that.
Uh, I'm sure, but my brother is, and I'm telling you right now. Once I heard this, I couldn't get it out of my mind. I'm like, wait a minute. So apparently, in the last like 3-4 years, the Super Bowl logo, when it comes out, it reveals who will be in the Super Bowl, and whatever color at the bottom is the Super Bowl winner. So it's happened consistently for the last like 3 or 4 years, right? That's one. Number two, this year's is a red at the top, purple at the bottom. What does that mean based on that theory? That it would be the 49ers
And the
and
Ravens.
Ravens because they're the only purple team, in the NFL.
Yeah,
But wait, there's more. What if, ladies and gentlemen,
that's
it
really
ends
purple.
up being not the 49ers, but the Buccaneers that go to the Super Bowl. And it was a different red. Poof, I thought about that this morning. I was like, oh my God, I gotta tell everybody. This is crazy. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It could possibly be Buccaneers and Ravens in the Super Bowl. That would be insane. Like that'd be like, oh my god, I can't even believe this. But I mean, I'd be happy for whichever team wins. Either way, because it's still a Florida team. Shout out to Florida. You know what I mean? And it's still Lamar winning his chip. So, but I just thought about that. I was like, oh my god, it might not be the 49ers. And you reminded me, Color, because you said Pewter and Garnett, and White and Garnett. So yeah.
We'll have to
Mm-hmm.
see, but I think Detroit's going to win today.
I'm rooting
Yeah.
for the Lions all the way through.
Me
I'm
too. They're like my pick. Like I hope that they go all the way through, in my opinion. But
Me too.
if you follow the conspiracies, just saying, it's just a conspiracies. So yeah,
Yeah.
could be blue, not purple. Nah, bro, the logo ain't nobody. I mean, unless you're color deficient or color blind, that's purple, dude. That's red and purple. Like
I
this.
like colorblind people.
Me too.
Yeah,
They're
they don't
awesome.
even see me. I can like, they don't even know I'm there.
Uh, you guys remember that game? It was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. It was the Seahawks with their little lime green. What is it called? The full lime green
Yeah, the Monday
Color
night game.
rush.
color rush. The color
Fluorescent,
rush,
you
right?
mean
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fluorescent
Color
lime
rush.
green?
You talking about the
Yeah,
Monday
the
night game?
fluorescent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was. It's funny because we were as a family we were watching it, and I was telling my brother like, and I was telling my dad, I'm like, Dad, I don't know, but
I-
there's
You know
something weird
what?
about
I
this
I
game.
do believe,
This
Miss
game seems
Fins.
really weird to me,
I could
and
be wrong. I could be wrong. But that game could have possibly been against the Los Angeles Rams and Jared Goff. And I believe that was the night that Richard Sherman lit up Jared Goff on the sideline.
no, it was a red team and a green team. The green team was
Okay.
Seahawks. The red team, I don't remember which red team it was. I think
It could be the 49ers.
Oh,
I think it was
49ers.
the 49ers. But
Yeah.
it was both teams were color rushed. So they
Yeah.
both it was all red on one side, all green, but it just messed me. I was like, oh, I can't watch this game. It's giving me a headache. Like it was
Yeah.
just weird watching that game.
Yeah, I know
And they
a little
haven't
bit
done it
about
before.
Seattle too. I
They
know a little
haven't
bit
done
about
it before.
I know a
It
little bit
was the
about
Bill.
Seattle because it's my dad's team. Seattle's my dad's team.
Oh no, not that one, Michael K. This particular one was Seahawks because it was the lime green. That lime green color. Hey, Nene's in the building. What's up, Nene? How you doing, ma'am? Welcome up. Hey,
Yeah,
we got you part 3.
look like a bunch of
So
highlighters on the field, huh?
yeah, it was just you know what? It could be Bills Jets. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think so, but whatever.
The
I,
game I
I
was referring to, Miss Fins, was a Sunday night game. And it was versus the Rams. I'm going to put the link in the private text just so you can watch it. I know you can't share it, but
yeah,
just so you can watch this hit.
I'll copy it and then I'll watch it.
Because a
I'll
lot
watch
of
it.
people, they don't think of Jared Goff as the tough kind of quarterback type. You know what I mean?
No, he
Uh,
is. He
And
definitely
man,
is tough.
Richard Sherman just absolutely lit him up. And that was color rush, even though it was the Rams were wearing all white and they were wearing the white horns on their helmet for the first time. So that was
Yeah,
their color rush. And the Seahawks were wearing the fluorescent lime green. But check
yeah,
that hit out. And that's it's like, and Goff got right back up like it was nothing.
yeah.
I know
Yeah,
about
for
Goff
anybody
because
that
he's a
wants to
cow.
find the video, just do the keyword search in YouTube is Sherman versus Goff, and
Yeah,
it'll be like the first video.
yeah, I know about Goff because he's a cow guy. Goff's a cow guy, so I watched him in cow. I'm a
That's
cow
funny.
fan. 'Cause I'm in California.
Yeah. And just so you know,
Oh,
Michael
and
K,
you
I
noticed
did
something
Google
else,
it,
Miss
and
Fins?
that wasn't the game we're referring to, not the
Right,
Bills Jets
you
game.
noticed something else on that play?
It's a lime green
He
game.
ran for like 25 yards. He had some wheels on that play too.
Hey,
Okay, I'm gonna
I
copy
think the
this
Lions
link.
actually won that trade. For
We'll
Goff.
see. I mean, I don't know. People would argue, what's their
He's
name? Won a
faster than
Super
Tom
Bowl.
Brady. I'll give him that.
Well, Stafford got a Super Bowl, so I don't think they
He's
won.
faster than Tom Brady.
Well,
I'll
yeah,
put it that way.
but the Lions are built up using
Uh,
those draft picks.
Yeah. But
So-
which is better. Yeah, which is better. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's better. But
they were the dregs of the NFL, and then all of a sudden now look at them.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Greer just needs to get up out of his feelings real quick and just admit that he was wrong.
No, and Cliff, I agree with Cliff. Cliff D says Greer should have been fired 5 years ago instead of promoted. Yeah, and instead of
he was
firing
technically
Greer,
fired. Yeah, they just promote up.
but wait a minute. Instead of firing Greer, they hired his dad as a consultant in 2017.
Wow.
But see, some people
Wow.
just can't handle the truth.
Oh
They
my
just
god!
can't handle
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Bobby
Huh.
Greer. And you know where
Yeah,
Bobby
you
Greer
didn't
came
know
from?
that?
Patriots.
Wait, for
Greer
real? You
was
didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Bobby Greer was the scout director under Bill O'Brien and the Houston Texans.
Oh,
Oh, that yeah. You know what? Greer needs to go. I'm done.
I
That
want
puts
all the
the lid right on
Patriots
the
out of
jar.
our building. Not just if they got rid of Flo. Yo, I want every Patriot out of our building.
That he's the
Yeah.
only Patriot
Nah,
I'll
I
take
want
back.
Welker to
I
stick
will
around.
gladly take him back.
But
Well,
Greer needs
Walker's
to
got-
go.
I can't take you.
I'm done.
Well, the
I
funny
mean-
thing is, before I did the research on Bobby Greer, I thought he was still with the Patriots, right? No.
we
The
did
Patriots-
this together,
No,
Color.
Yeah, right. The Patriots
Remember?
got rid of him when Bill Belichick came in the building.
Wow. Yes. And you know what? Greer's got to go. He is
Yeah.
the only. He's the only. If he goes, and look at the Niners. The Niners have John Lynch too. Look at the Niners. Look at the spew of talent they have.
You know what I would find really interesting is why don't we? I don't know. If you have a world class Hall of Fame, I think what we need to find is a world class Hall of Fame quarterback who held records for over 30 years before they were broken and considered the GOAT, if not one of the GOATs and greatest of all time. I think we need to find that individual and see if we can maybe perhaps get their input on, perhaps the most important position in the team. Where can we find somebody like that, guys?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I know he's his number was 13.
I don't know. Is it
Well, here,
I think it's
this whole
13.
time,
Brock Purdy?
This whole time, I would make the joke that I'd make the joke that Chris is probably calling up his dad for advice every once in a while. Like, yo, I was making that joke just to come to
But it's
find out
for
that he's
real.
actually been on our payroll as a consultant since 2017.
That
He literally has been calling his dad.
And Greer needs to go.
Egregious.
Yeah, Greer needs to go. He needs to go.
He needed to go 300 years.
And you guys know I've been a little harder to it. I'll admit that I was a little harder to it. Yes, this year he's gotten better and stuff like that. And like I said, I stepped back. So Greer is the only, and he will go to extreme lengths to prove that he wasn't a liar. He needs to go. He's the one that needs to go. He's the only common factor in this too. So
And that's the common denominator that people sometimes
Yeah.
forget to see.
Good thing.
Who has been here? Thank you. Who has been here consistently for the last 20 years? And what has happened? Because he may not have had, and a lot of people try to say that he didn't have access to the draft till 2019. BS. 2016, where it was already proven since 2016's draft and on. This man
And
has
besides
picked
the
for
fact
us.
that he's been before that, he's been in
He
the
was in a
scouting
cons-
department. Like he was
Exactly.
our area scouting director. He's the guy
Thank
feeding
you.
the GM players to look at.
He's not a football guy.
There you go.
He's
he's
not
not,
a
but-
football.
Go ahead,
football
Cooler.
guy.
Riverboat
Now,
gambler.
you could argue, well, Chris Greer might be better than his father. Then he needs to get his father out of the building because his father destroyed the
Yeah,
Houston
him.
Texans, and he's destroying us.
Yeah, they both need to go.
And if you want to say, okay, well, what did Bobby Greer hit on? Deshaun Watson? Well, maybe he hit on the athlete, but he has yet to hit on the character.
Yep. I'm sorry. They need to go. That is one common the factor. It's not Tua. It's
I mean, even
Chris
if he hit
Greer
on
and these
Deshaun Watson,
decisions that he's making.
even if he hit on Deshaun Watson, he didn't hit in the respect that the man's character created a situation where he's no longer with them. So he didn't hit on Deshaun Watson in that regard. J.J. Watt. I guess that's the best thing you can hang on Bobby Greer is J.J. Watt. DeAndre Hopkins. That's it.
Yeah, he needs to go. That is one of the common. Yeah, no.
Well, and to be fair to Tua, not that this absolves Tua of anything, but what I'm saying is we commonly say, what's the common denominator on our offense when we have failures, right?
Yeah.
And that common denominator is Tua. Well, if we're going to be fair, we have player personnel failures all over the place every year. What's the common denominator? Greer.
Yeah, Greer.
Whether it's Chris or Bobby, take your choice, or both.
Yeah, they gotta go. Yeah, because once you get, and I will take this time. Why don't you just go get a player GM that knows ball? It helped the 49ers out tremendously.
AB, that's precisely what I'm saying. Is that regardless of what I believe he can do, he has yet to do it, and that likely is because of his character. So
yes.
So Bobby Greer missed on Deshaun Watson's character.
Yeah. Well,
I'm actually agreeing with AB. I don't know if AB realizes it, but I'm agreeing with him.
But there is ways that he could fix it, right? So you can go get Ryan Tannehill back for cheap. I know that they're not going to do this, but there's alternatives to fix our team. I mean, by fixing, I mean, yes, it's a winning team, yes, but winning that first playoff game. You can go bring in people now like Russell Wilson or Tannehill for cheap. Get him back here because he can read more than one read. He can throw outside the numbers. He can use a tight end. He can use his legs.
Hey,
right?
I mean, if we find ourselves in a stopgap situation, I wouldn't be adverse to it because you could milk. They could milk the whole 1-year retirement tour thing, for a bunch of money.
Yeah, see.
And if he wins the championship, he can go out like Wade did.
Yeah.
With the Heat.
Yeah. See, and you can get Russell Wilson. He does the same thing. He probably more.
No. Well, if you're talking about stopgap, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. Just at that point,
I'd rather give Kirk Cousins a chance to show he can overcome the choke with a team like ours. I'd rather do that than Russell Wilson.
Yeah. See, well, like
cost too much. Draft the guy.
But even that, though, that's still an alternative.
That is the question that remains to be answered: is what is Kirk Cousins going to cost? I'm not convinced that he's going to command big money because of his injury.
His years
now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And the choking thing. You know what I mean? It's like maybe for us now, another team he likely could get a bag from, but us, if he wants to play for us exclusively, like, hey, I want to go try that out. Then he's going to have to take a cut. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to command big money from us.
Yeah, it'd have to be less than what Tua wants.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And for less years, because if he ends up doing the Kirk Cousins thing, then it doesn't hurt us near as much on the back end as if Tua does the Tua thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So maybe he might, and Chris Chris said, like he said, it could be mean playoff wins, like consistently.
Right.
And
AB is fair to point out that, and this is where I think where Dolphin Don's coming from too, is that Cousin has always gotten the big money. Yeah, but does that last forever? I mean,
no, don't.
Now he's coming off a major injury, and he already has a choking issue. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't get him because, like you said, a major injury and a choking issue. At least with Ryan Tannehill, you can get him for cheap. So what that means, yeah, he doesn't have he has the injury, but he's not coming off the injury. He can still throw the ball and he can still use his legs.
But
So
you
that's why I
can't really
say
equate him to Kirk
And he's
Cousins
familiar with
either.
practicing in our conditions. Go
yes.
ahead, man.
So yeah, he
Go ahead,
has
Don.
the experience. But he and Kirk Cousins, like you said, he's coming off of the injury. And what was his injury?
Achilles.
Achilles. See, there you go. So he's going to get even less mobile. So and Tannehill is more mobile. He can use his legs, and he's proven he can use his legs. That's why I threw Russell Wilson in there because Russell Wilson in there, he could throw. He did the same thing like
Now
Tannehill. He could throw outside.
With the ramping up talk of Derrick Henry, do you think that's a package deal there?
Mm.
Derrick Henry is a whole another animal itself.
Like we'll throw in Tannehill.
Derrick.
We'll throw in Tannehill and cover his salary if you just
Yeah.
take Derrick Henry off our hands, you know.
That would be awesome, but I don't think they're going to do that. But I think Mustard still hasn't got a fair shot. I mean, I know he's been injured and stuff like that, but like I said, he hasn't. That Chief game was supposed to be his shot too, because McDaniel told him he's going to run more. You know,
that's why. I mean, his age right now and his proclivity to
well,
get
you got
injured.
A-Chain too, though. Now you have A-Chain to release some of the pressure off of Mustard. Mustard doesn't have to go in the middle and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So now you have A-Chain because A-Chain, nobody's seen A-Chain coming. But Mike McDaniels.
Speaking of Achane, but first of all, before I say this, everybody, you are watching Miss Phins League-Wide Sunday, a special League-Wide Sunday that she didn't even tell me about, being as I am her normal co-host on League-Wide Wednesdays, which you can catch every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribe to the channel, and by subscribing, you can hit the notification bell to let you know when Miss Phins goes
I'll
live.
subscribe to that.
Because it helped me today. I wouldn't have known if she gone live if I didn't see the notification. So,
well, she wasn't supposed to. She said she took a break from cleaning and stuff like that. She wanted to get on.
But while you're at it, there are other ways to support Miss Phins because of y'all's support. Which is the easiest and cheapest thing to do is hit the like button and share the video. And because y'all did that, she's gotten well over 1,000 subs. And because of that, the people that would like to help out can become members and use super chats like this list of people who have become members. This long list already. Wow, Miss Phins, 3 columns. You got to you're going to have to shrink the font here pretty soon.
It's a blessing. That's all I can say. It really is a blessing.
Make sure you all are doing that. Support this channel. Miss Phins has come from absolutely zero to get where she's at by herself. Okay. As far as the content creation, and because of y'all's support, and I, as a personal friend of hers, really appreciate it because I wouldn't have put the energy in to help her. It would have been for nothing if you guys didn't enjoy it. So it makes me feel like my time spent is worth it, and because she's a great person. So
thank you guys for your
you gotta love that avatar. I mean, how can you not love that freaking avatar?
Yeah,
it's the best avatar on YouTube.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm a little caricature.
Oh, quickly, Miss Phins, I just wanted to say about Achan. So, Mom, right, as adorable as she is, right, she wanted to get a 00 jersey, like Chewy's jersey, right?
Yeah,
with no name on it, just blank. So she gets
no
the
name
jersey.
defense.
She gets the jersey, and it's a Devon Achane jersey.
Aww.
Now she had just bought me a Devon Achane jersey for Christmas, right? And so she gets the jersey, and it's Devon Achane. She's like, "What?" So she's telling me about it, and I'm like, "Mom, on the product page, did it say any name across the back of the jersey?" And she says, "Yeah." And I'm like, that was a customized jersey. And because you didn't specify a name, it seems they have just defaulted to the last jersey that you bought.
So she's got a 00 HN
I think
jersey?
she's on mute.
No, they gave her a 28 HN, so she gave it to me. So now I've got an extra Devon HN jersey.
Nice.
Hey,
Oh, I
hey.
can't hear Miss Phins. I don't know if I got to drop down.
You can't hear me? What about, can you hear me or no? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
We hear
Hey,
you,
I hear
Nene.
you.
uh,
Sound
you
loud
hear
and
Nene don't
me?
clear.
hear
I
you.
Okay.
don't.
You don't
Okay,
hear
so
us?
drop down,
I
Nene,
hear
and then come
color
back
and I
up.
hear crazy dolphin, so I may have to drop down and come back up.
Go ahead. I'm gonna bring
Yeah,
this
so I was
puppy.
wondering if anybody knew how, without making a phone call to Fanatics, how you would actually order a blank 00 jersey.
I think Fanatics
You
has
just
Ooh.
that.
put blank in the name in all caps or something, or no name.
Oh, don't put blank because they'll
Well,
actually do
El
that.
Capitan said he's seen cases where they printed out no name. Like people tried that and they printed out no name.
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Nene? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. I came up to talk about some of these solutions y'all got. If you got a moment on this freezing
Yeah, yeah. Wait a
Sunday.
minute. Wait a minute. Is this an international flight or
No,
domestic?
I
I
gotta
got
go to
about
school.
29 moments left.
I gotta go to school. So I'm prepared. But I just came up here because, like Color said, I saw you going live. Nothing was going on yesterday in terms of the socials that I usually subscribe to. So seemed like everybody's going live today, which is kind of bad for me because Sundays is usually the day I rest. I believe in the Sabbath, but I did want to
Amen.
say something real quick about what I was reading in the comments, and I love this channel because some people may not like the boundaries that it puts up, but I like to hear the speakers actually speak and not a whole bunch of distorted mics going on at the same time. So I appreciate for the decorum uh, of your channel so we can actually hear each other. But to the solution, I think what we saw in the playoffs, if you've been watching the playoffs, is football 101, and it is imperative that every team has these foundational things. You have to have an offensive line. It like watching um Green Bay in particular, even though they lost, watching them control the line of scrimmage. I mean, they were not supposed to even be that close in that game, honestly. But if you watch those trenches and how they protected their quarterback, see, this is why I get on Christopher Aloysius Greer the third, because last summer they asked him a very honest question, and the way this man speak, you would think he has 12 championships. The way he talks to the media, the way he engages, someone need to whisper in his ear, "Hey, bud, we haven't won in 24 years a playoff game. Let's humble ourselves." But the offensive line and that let's try to scheme our way from what you need to do the right way. And I told people that wasn't. I know he probably don't come on this show, but Doc Reggie, we was talking the first week of the season, and he was like, "Nacy, we could scheme our way to protect Tua." I said, "That's not gonna work in December. That's not going to work in December when you travel to these and let's be clear, San Francisco is not a cold place, but you saw that rain and how it affected, the game. You got to be able to protect the quarterback. You have to. You cannot bring some hot shot coordinator and call him a head coach and try to scheme your way through that, because let's be honest, our conference our division sets us up for failure, right? Once we get into October, November, that advantage we have with the heat and humidity, it goes the other way against us. We got to go into two New York cities, a Baltimore, a Pittsburgh, and we even saw Kansas City. You have to be able to protect the quarterback. You have to. And it can't be 2.5 seconds. He has to be able to go through his progressions and not look to just one or two things, right? And and challenge to Tua. He has to figure it out. He got to figure it out. He got to figure out how to what they call climb in the pocket. What I saw from all those quarterbacks, definitely Lamar, but I think Lamar is a whole different conversation by itself. Lamar, Jordan Love, even CJ Stroud, for when he was moving the ball, you see them extending the play, right? And I just another thing is special teams. Color was there. I got laughed out the space when I mentioned. I said, "You guys are not concerned about the special teams. You got to be able to have that returner that could put you in good field position or score a touchdown, which kept Green Bay in the game. You got to have a proficient field goal kicker because we saw Green Bay. To me, that was the reason why they lost once he missed those field goals. You got to be able to punt the ball. All of that is
Yeah.
a part of the game of football. And Christopher Aloysius the third, he has a responsibility to this community that fights every day, even on Sundays, apparently, of constructing a roster to where your Tyreek Hill and all these other little shiny pieces work. But that's my thing. You have to go in there. Same thing with Detroit, I believe. Detroit, we'll see them later today. I think they have a good offensive line. There, you have to be able to protect the quarterback, and the quarterback has to have time in the pocket, unless you have somebody. I'm gonna give another name, and I'm gonna land my plane. If you have a Michael Vick, someone like that, someone who extends plays like that. And let's be honest, that's not Tua's game. It's not an indictment to Tua, but
Yeah, it's just mm,
he's thicker than a snicker right now. When I saw him run, it looked like, I used to have soldiers that were fat, and we used to put them on remedial PT, and we tried to get them to do sprints, and just to see how they wagging their tongue like a dog. That's how he looked when he was trying to run. So he cannot change that. Well, maybe you can lose some weight and get a little bit more faster, but you got to get an offensive line. And Greer, there's people out there that are available that you can trade for. It's up to him. And I'll land my plane there.
I
How you doing?
appreciate you, Nene, coming up and saying that for sure. I mean, it's true. You can't even, move forward with this upcoming season without getting an online. But before we talk about, because I know I got Crazy Dolphin, Mr. Polk, and Crypto. I appreciate you, gentlemen. Give me 1 second, real quick. I got to shout out Joe Riz, who just became a member.
Thank you much, Joe. I met Joe personally
Yeah,
here
yeah,
earlier.
yeah. Thank you
Look
so
at his
much,
avatar.
Joe. Look at your name. Look at your name. See, that's what I was working on. Your name is already in the record books, buddy. Thank you so much, Joe, for coming in and becoming a member. Much, much, much appreciated. Gosh, thank you so much. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you some love for showing some love to Miss Fans because it really does mean a lot. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Do me a favor, guys. You already know, member march emojis. Let's do the emojis. I love seeing all the emojis after we get a new member. So let's do that member march. And before I put up crypto, we had Mr. Polk. How you doing, sir? Good evening, and thank you for coming to Miss Fans.
Hey, how's it going, Miss Fins? Fins 209, Dolphin Dunn. Oh, Dolphin Dunn. This is my first time in the panel with you. Color,
Hey, what's up?
crypto,
Bringing
Nene.
people together.
Nene. I just want to say one thing as far as Miss Fins goes. Like I said, great personality. Also, we have to, and I'm quite sure people get time. He said we have to support the Lady Dolphins in Dolphin Nation. Period. Support them. Support
I
them.
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And
Thank you so
that goes
much.
for Nene and any other Lady Dolphins. We got to support them.
All of us.
That's for real. That's the truth. But
Thank you. Thank you.
oh boy, it's kind of hard for me to say. I don't.
Say it.
I, okay. When it comes down to Chris Greer, I'm kind of halfway. I'm kind of halfway with him and halfway out. But I don't put all the blame on Chris Greer because I think Ross is also making certain decisions as well. So it's not just Chris Greer. It goes all the way up to Ross because look what he's been doing. The situation with Tom Brady and some other people he's been trying to bring in. Somebody told me, and I don't think it's going to happen, that they should clean the whole staff. I mean, from top to bottom, they need to clean it out and start over again. But I don't. really think that's a good idea. That's what I was told um, on the internet a couple of days ago. But again, I don't really agree with that. But I
What's up,
just not.
Liz?
I don't put all the blame on Chris Greer. Some blame I do, some I don't. I think some of it goes to the top also with Ross.
We'll have to see what he does. What he does in the offseason and the moves he makes will show us
That's
what he's
true.
gonna do.
That's true.
Hey,
And let's
Mr.
go ahead and
Pope.
have Crypto real
Uh,
quick. Wait, Nene, because Crypto came up here and I want to give him some time. So,
Crypto.
what's up, Crypto? How you doing, sir? Good. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Fins. I will say this much. We're getting dangerously close to not really focusing on the actual problem, on what Greer's issue is. Greer's issue is not the offensive line. Greer's issue is building the right combination of players to defeat his top division opponents or top conference opponents. You can't go keep serving a bunch of vegetables to vegetarians. They'll eat them up. The Buffalo Bills in this situation are the vegetarians, and we're feeding them a combination of vegetables. We got to feed them some freaking meat and something that's going to upset their stomach. You can criticize Greer for not creating the table that will give an upset stomach to the right people that's dieting. You can't go serve up a bunch of combinations. Say, oh, this is the flashy player, this is the fancy player, this is this all speed guys, but it may not be the right combination of players schematically to defeat your opponent. That's what you can criticize them for. You can't, because you can't just say it's all about the flashy names and oh, he built this great roster. No. How about the building a combination of players that's going to be enough to defeat your opponent and your division rivals and stop getting beat over the head from time to time? You can't keep feeding a plate of vegetables to vegetarians. It's not going to work because they're going to eat it up. That's how I put it. You got
Can
to
I
go
say
feed them something
something?
that's going to upset their stomach. And one thing about the offensive line narrative that's getting dangerously sidebarred, the offensive line has given Tua whatever amount of time he needs to process the field. I'll say this much: the more time Tua gets, the more his numbers decline. That's the
That is a
anomaly of what's
statistical
going on
fact.
with Tua.
That is a statistical
His
fact.
numbers
Yes.
actually decline the more time he gets because he's so accustomed to getting rid of the ball within that 2.5 seconds. Once he do, once the defenses do shock him by giving him more than that 2.5,
Exactly.
he
He holds
plummets.
the ball and
So I
gets
don't even
hit.
know if the
And
offensive line
crypto
is a solution
the
to giving
reason
them all the time in the
and the
world.
reason they're giving him that more time
And I
is
said before.
basically because they're only rushing four and they're able to drop another guy to cover that initial read.
And
Can
they're
I
not
say
scared of
something?
him
Right.
And then
escaping the
by the
pocket.
It's
time
That's
that
that he
another
easy.
actually
reason.
It
gets
is
it,
that easy.
everybody's covered. hmm
Can
Right.
I
100%.
say
Go ahead,
That's a
something?
Nene.
part of the defensive
Yeah.
scheme.
Can I say
Go
something?
ahead, Nene.
This is why I disagree with it. And I get the schematically. Y'all know I don't like all that math stuff. I believe what I see,
I
and I
love
think
math.
what I see out there is a man that still fears from them big hits that he took. And I think the organization conspired a plan based off of his mental stability of getting hit the way he got hit. They sent him to karate school. They told him to get thicker.
Jujitsu.
They told him to get thicker than a snicker, and they put this scheme of 2.7 seconds because of the alleged accuracy and the decision making, right? But here's the problem when you do all of that. When you put that on film at the beginning of the season, because this is something we haven't discussed, is Mike McDaniel's things that he needs to work on, right? Because we're starting to see a pattern with him. The first 7 games or so of each season, he looks like a genius. And then as the season goes on and teams watch the film and you play better competition throughout the season and the weather changes, you start seeing the flaws within the way that he's calling the offense. I still believe there is absolutely nothing wrong with having a line that could protect you outside of that 2.7 seconds because what and I get the whole thing about him being in there longer. I see the complete opposite at times. I think he gets happy feet. I had a gentleman send me a breakdown film of him start from the Chargers game to the Buffalo game, and you can see the difference. Like once he panics, once he feels that pressure is coming, he starts tapping the ball. His feet look like he's getting ready to do the Watt 2C because he got happy feet, and he starts making poor decisions. So for me, if you and I guess the thing that hurts me, I'm landing my plane, is when I see the people we let go be productive on other teams. When I see these offensive linemen, we let go. When I see these interim coaches, we let go. We're going to see two of them today, Dan Campbell and Todd Boyles. When I keep seeing these people, we let go. Be productive someone else. I do have to say Greer, and I get the whole thing with Ross, but when you think of big business, right? You have the person that's the money person, and then you have the person that's making the decisions. And I think what Ross's problem is he has all the money, but he trusts Chris Greer's decisions because it is on wax that Ross wanted Lamar, but he let Greer talk him out of Lamar and get Tua. So that's why I'm saying that the downfall of Ross is trusting Christopher Aloysius Greer III, Point Dexter. That's where he went wrong, if anything. Because to me, it's not like he's a cheap owner, right? Like right now, the Miami Heat people are complaining that Mickey is cheap and that's why we didn't get Dame and da 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 da. He's not a cheap owner. He'll allot the funds,
Yeah.
y'all that go to the game. Y'all seen how Joe Robbie Stadium has conformed to what it once was, to what it is
Mhm.
now, even the surrounding areas. All of that is Ross. He's not a person that is just letting the franchise fail by not giving a financial obligation. However, where I think he's failing is that he trusts Greer is making the right decisions. And I can't lie. I'm cheering for Lamar because he's a South Florida boy. I want him to get a chip. I didn't like how the media did him when he tried to negotiate his own contract. And I would be happy to see him. Also, Dalvin Cook, if he gets a ring, boy, spaces, just log off. It's gonna be a whole day of Dalvin Cook, but that's for crypto. My whole thing is if that happens, I
I'm
hope
fine
that
with Cook.
wakes up Ross because the guy you wanted, Lamar, went ahead and got a Super Bowl champ. So I'm cheering hard. I'm banging the table for the Ravens. Plus Willis McGahee played there too. He's also a Miami Central Rocket. I land my plane
What
there.
about Ray Lewis?
They didn't
Oh,
go.
that's my guy.
They
But he
didn't go
already
to
won
Miami
though.
Central.
He already won.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Him and Ed
Yeah.
Reed. Both of them. Love them.
They
Love them.
won
Love them.
two.
Right.
Ray Lewis has two Super Bowls, and Ed Reed has
Hmm.
one.
And you know what,
Yep.
Nene, you bring up a good point. Now, if
Yep.
I was now, I get mad if I go to McDonald's and I get a Big Mac and the bread's not perfect. If I was Stephen Ross with all this money I've spent for this team, how disappointed would I be right now? I don't know if Chris Greer is as safe as people think. Just my 2 cents.
I
Well, I got a
I
question real
agree.
quick for everybody because
I
I think
agree
this
with
is
that,
really
Don.
interesting. And
That
Nene
last
said
Yeah,
point.
Don.
something that I forgot,
I'm
and
sorry, ABAB.
I
I
agree
didn't mean to
with
make
you
you
too.
hungry with the vegetarian thing. My bad.
But what about this? Let's say we start out next year, just hypothetically speaking. Just go with it with what I'm setting up, okay, people? Hypothetically speaking, we had the same team. How? I don't matter. We're in fairyland, okay? But this time, the first 6 weeks, we go 3-3. We're not looking good. We're not looking mad. Next three, we go 1-2. So what would that put us? 4-5, right? 4-5. Let's say by the 10th week, we're 5-5. But then we rip off seven straight, heading into the playoffs, and we go 10-7 and make a wild card position, a wild card team. Would that be a successful season for us or no?
You said 10-7?
Yeah, right. Because it's 17 games, right?
If it happened the way you described, yeah, because I bet that would correlate with why we lost those couple games in the beginning of the year. Like
Not
they're
really,
probably good
because
teams,
Oh
or you
yeah.
know what I mean.
It all depends on who those were against too.
Yeah, and how
If
competitive we
we
looked in
follow
them.
what the if we follow what the NFL has consistently done with the Dolphins, which is obviously we always have major divisional games at the end, like most teams do, but I feel like we have extra ones.
Yeah, because they
But
want it
then
to be
those
playoff thing.
exactly, and then we have the really tough games. But let's say we flip it around next year, and those are the games we're just slamming them 7 straight, going into the playoffs, and we get into the wild card. Because I guess in this
As
position
long as you don't
would
lose
either be
that
like
wild
fifth or
card
sixth.
game. If you lose that wild card game, then it's actually worse.
Well, Miss
Because
Fence,
we went 10-7.
Right,
Miss
because
Fence, I
ask
think you're
yourself the same thing for the Buffalo Bills this year. That's precisely how their season went.
so Miss Fence, you're
Right.
describing what happened under Brian Flores. You're basically
Backwards,
describing
yes.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. Yeah.
that's
essentially,
basically,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
kind of.
Pretty
Flores
much,
was a little
yeah.
more
One
Same
of the
extreme, but
scenario.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, same scenario. Yep.
and
But
guess
listen,
what
but
those
Right.
seasons were still labeled as
There are
Right.
unsuccessful.
successful
That did
seasons. We're a
happen. We
rebuild.
closed strong with Flores, and we lost. We didn't.
And
We
then
didn't
we
get the
fired him
opportunity
a
to get
couple
in.
of weeks later. So like, no, it's not. It's here's the thing.
Yeah, you definitely have to win that first game in the playoffs
That's
to
that's
make
But
it
is that
that's
official.
it? Is that enough?
for
Is
me.
that enough, or
Miss,
is that the
It won't be
definition of
enough
good
because we
enough
got to win the
to
Super
not be
Bowl.
good
We're in year
enough?
7 of the rebuild now.
well, for me, Miss Fence, it would be as a person that the last time we won a playoff game is when I was a senior in high school, and I'm going to be 41 next month. So at least we're
Happy
making
early birthday.
we're at least if that happens, and I think that's what upset me about this season, right? Especially with the 3 game cushion and everything that came along with that narrative, is that you got to show the fan base, right, that you are what you're saying that you are. When you go up and say this, there's that's why I
Gee.
wish they never sold that. That they shouldn't have said nothing about a window. They should have said a mirror because we gotta look ourselves in the mirror
Mm.
before we start talking about some championship window. First of all, I agree with Crypto with this. I think not just only the personnel, but the personalities, right? Because when I looked at Baltimore, a guy that some say we should have got Raekwon Smith, he was, I mean, you could see
That's who I
he
wanted.
he was passionate. They were in a huddle trying to figure it out. I don't see none of that. And let me be clear, I'm not physically at the game, so I'm not looking at the sidelines. I can only get the view that the cameras show us. But even in Hard Knocks, that infamous scene with Waddle, and I know he was cold, so you didn't see like emotion, but the words he said out his mouth, right? And I don't know how much it was edited, but it looked like Tyreek was more concerned about chewing his gum. It looked like he was more concerned about his Fortnite game or something. He didn't even respond to what
Ford.
he said. And he was right. He said for these guys, the defense to have all of these changing pieces, right? And we can't score more than 7. I think they have to start. But see, here's the thing. I get on Greer for a lot of reasons, and one of the reasons why I don't think he likes passionate people. I think, like, they say you're a reflection of your leadership. You look at him and McDaniel, right? They both real goofy, right? They don't like I never seen like a GM and a coach be so unprofessional like that in terms of you just got your butt handed to you. You let your rival walk you down from a 3-day game cushion, and you up there behind a mic joking and laughing like we got a game on Sunday. So I just think we need a mixture of dogs. You need some people that's when Coach McDaniel's over there trying to catch flies because he got his mouth open staring at the play sheet. You need a couple of leaders that's gonna go ahead, and do the business. I give you an example in another sport. Udonis Haslam. He was not a talented player. He was not. He would never probably be mentioned in the record books. But you know why he got his jersey retired? Because he was like that guy you needed in the locker room. He was that glue. He was that person when they were effing
Yep.
up, he would throw a chair
Dennis
and say,
Rodman.
He was the culture.
right. And you don't have that. You got a whole bunch of guys. Every time I hear them talk, they talking about dancing.
You gotta
Like,
have a culture first before you can implement it like
Yeah.
that. In Miami,
It should be
it
organic,
stems
Miss
from Pat
Fins. It
Riley.
should be
It used to
organic.
be
It
like
stems
that
from
with,
Pat
with
Riley.
Dennis Rodman and the Bulls. You need that person that who rebound the ball and pass it out. You need
I
that
mean,
person. Yeah, you're right. You
Or
need that
bring a
person to fire up.
toughness.
Yep.
Bring a
We need a
toughness to
bunch
the
of
team.
Draw a
specialists. Is
line,
what we
or he
need.
draws. He's the person that draws the line. And
again, I'm gonna go back. Go ahead. Go ahead.
the thing that I when Udonis Haslam reminded me of was the Hasbro was that Indiana Pacers where he fouled Dwayne Wade and Haslam came right back at him. He said, "Nope, Special, don't get into this. I got this," and that reminded me so much of Dennis Rodman. And that's why I like Haslam.
But
Yeah,
you
and I
forget,
know
I
it's
get it.
basketball, but there's some things that are just translucent whenever you have a team. You have to have certain people that, and I listened to his retirement speech, and I thought it was beautiful when he said one day he was in practice and he went for the ball and no one else did. And Pat Riley came up to him and said, "Why do you went off for that ball?" He said, "I didn't hear the whistle." And Pat Riley smiled. He said at that moment he knew that's what he was bringing to the team. That's what was going to make him great. And I don't look at those guys and I don't see that, you know. And to be
That
fair,
effort,
to,
that
to
second
me,
effort,
to
third
me,
effort.
like every championship team needs that. I saw it yesterday with San Francisco. Their tight end was the one kind of, kind of getting them like, hey, let's get this
George
right.
Kittle.
Let's get it together. It doesn't have to be
Mm.
a certain guy. I know everybody prefers it to be the QB one because of obvious reasons, but I wouldn't want to be something that he's not because then it's not organic. It's fake. It's phony, and a lot of people is not going to listen to
Yeah,
that.
right. It'd be
It's,
phony, right?
and that's why I think Greer, you still have the opportunity. And you know what? Our cap situation may force him to finally do the right thing and get some guys that's playing check to check that want to be out there that's fighting. Not these guys that already got their 30 million. They like, oh well, if we lose, what time I'm going live on Twitch? What time I'm going to the golf course? You need some
Yep.
guys that's
Well, you know what?
hungry.
Yep, that's true, Nene. Yeah,
Perfect.
we have
Listen,
to, it has to be all organic. It has to come from within.
well,
guys, do me
Intestinal
a favor.
fortitude.
Real quick, do me a favor, guys, because right now I want to make sure that we get everybody here. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and
hit the like button.
go ahead and take a look at because right now I'm getting ready to shut this down. The game's about to start now, and I know that Color's about to do the he's about to do the game, but I just dropped the link to TFTG, the Finch tailgate. Their Color will be doing and calling the game. That right now I know I can't go right now, Color, but I might be able to go in
Take your
a
time.
little later. But
Take your
I
time. I'm
definitely
going
want
to jump out.
everybody to
Everybody
know
have a good
because
one. I'll see you over at the tailgate. And thank you, Miss Fins, very much.
of course,
Nene,
of
Rich
course.
Talk,
Thank you, Miss
Crypto,
Fans.
Sean,
All right.
and you don't have the names up. It's Fins. What was that?
Sorry. Go ahead. There you
Fins
go.
Oh,
209. I knew
209.
it was Fins something, but all right, everybody have a good one. I'll see you
209.
over.
What area code is that?
Yep.
What's that in South
Thank you,
Carolina?
Color. Because I
In
know he had to go,
California.
so that's why
Oh,
I
that's
wanted to let him
California.
go.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
California cat.
So
Oh, okay,
I'm gonna.
cool.
I want everybody's final thoughts real quick, and so you guys can go join them over there. I know it's gonna be a great show over there, obviously, but and I appreciate everybody that has come through up here. Thank you, Mark from Bill's Mafia. Thank you, Aramine earlier today. Obviously, Dolphin Don, Mr. Pogue, Nene, Crypto, Fins 209. Thank you guys for coming through. But give me your final thought. Actually, yeah, give me your final thoughts. What do you think these two games are gonna look like? Let me start with Crypto.
I think these two gonna be real competitive. These is the I call it the what I call it put the two and theirs and the two and nine on the in a pickle to root for any of these games because I every quarterback that's remaining in the playoffs, absent of Mahomes, they have literally trashed and said they were nobody and they were a bunch of bums. So basically, they're in a real pickle right now as far as rooting for anybody in any of these
That's true.
games
What's up, yeah?
except the Chiefs. And then they'll be just rooting for a dynasty at that point. So they really in a conundrum. If they root for the Chiefs, they're rooting for a dynasty to continue. They root for anybody else like Allen or freaking golf, or God forbid, freaking Baker Mayfield, right? Because everybody's trashed him all season. So yeah, it's this is the pickle game for the two and nears, right? Or the pickle series. But yeah, it's gonna. I think it's gonna be competitive. I think Detroit should be able to edge them out with their balanced attack, and I think the Bills and Chiefs is going to be a battle because the Bills got to prove that they can at least beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. That's their boogeyman. So if they can get past their boogeyman, that'll be a conundrum for Dolphins fans. 'Cause that means that they're basically one game from the Super Bowl. There's EM right there. What's up, EM?
Turn
Turn
up,
up.
We're going to
crypto,
Texas,
turn
man.
up. You know.
I'm gonna have to, you gonna have to meet me in Arlington on Jefferson Street.
Well, thank you, Crypto. I appreciate you, and I'll see you over there with the Fins tailgate a little bit, man. Appreciate you. Have a great
Yep.
day.
Y'all have a
See ya.
good one, y'all. Thanks for having me, Miss Fans. We appreciate
Of
it.
course, of
All right,
course.
crypto.
Yep.
Go
This is
ahead.
Coach Nene and Fence 209 and Dolphin Don. And the people in the chat that
Later.
to come by the channel, shout out to you guys. Um, EM, even ABAB, Keith Smith, and G. We appreciate y'all. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Stay
Thank you,
blessed,
guys.
brother.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Then we have let's go, Mr. Polk, real quick. Give
Uh,
me your last thoughts of this game. But literally, I'm about to flip the coin, so I want to give Color the opportunity to have you guys up there.
it's gonna be a battle, just like the games were yesterday. So I'm fixing to jump off and enjoy the rest. The rest of the games today. Even though we're not in it, that's okay. I still love football, and I'm still gonna always be a Dolphin fan regardless. My thing is we just got to see what's going to happen with the off season. The off season is going to determine a lot of things to me. This is a very important off season coming up, and it's not
Hmm.
just for the players, but it's for the whole team. That the whole team, including the staff and all. So let's see what's going to happen and go Dolphins. And thanks for having me on the show, Miss Fins. It was a pleasure being up here with Fins 209, Dolphin Dunn, and Nene. It's
Later.
good to see. Good being up here with you guys. So y'all
Much
take care and
appreciated.
God bless.
God bless,
God
man. Good to be on the
bless.
same panel with you, man.
All right now.
Thank you. Go ahead, Nene. Talk to us. What you
Well,
gotta? Oh, wait, actually, no, Nene, no. You're not going. You're not. I need you last because for something else. You'll see in a second.
okay.
Let's go, Finch 209. Go ahead and give us your final thoughts on these two games coming up here.
The Detroit Tampa Bay game is whatever defense shows up. They both got a good defense. Whatever defense shows up, the other team will take advantage, and I think Detroit's going to win. But that's why I was bringing. And I giving you guys some alternatives. There is some alternatives for Chris Greer to show us what he can do in the offseason. And I say go get Russell Wilson. But what do I know? Have a
All
good one.
right.
Thank you for having me on here, and appreciate it.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you so much for coming through, man. I'll see you guys on Monday. You know we'll be live Monday. Mr. Dolphin Don, talk to us, sir.
All right. Hey, Miss Fins and Nene, it's good to be on the same panel with y'all. And I just want to say that I'm going to be rooting for Detroit. And it's good to be just a fan right now because I don't care who
Right?
wins. Let's just say I don't have all that stress on me. No, none of that baggage. Not that I ain't hoping for it next year. But so may the best team win. That's all I got to say. And
I
fins
love
up
it.
and blessings to everybody, man.
Fins up, and thank you for coming through. I appreciate you, man. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks.
And Nene, yes, the reason why I wanted you last is because guys, check out part 2 of Back Alley Fins with myself, Nene, and Finsanity. We will be recording part 3 soon, whenever you tell me you're available. Hopefully Monday, so that way we can get that puppy out. But yeah, that was it. I just wanted to let everybody know. Go catch part 2 of Back Alley Fans. It's in Miss Fans. You can find it under videos, um, or one of the playlists I put it on. But go ahead now. Give me your final thoughts, ma'am, of this
Well,
game.
the first things first. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on your platform. It is a blessing. as we get ready to close into the next month, which is the greatest month ever, February, for a lot of reasons.
September, but yeah, I get it.
I'm reflecting on, that we had some coaches and we let them go. And today we get to watch a couple of them. I am a big fan of Dan Campbell. I really wanted
Me too.
them to give him another opportunity at it. It looked like that team was really the questions that people have with Mike McDaniel sometimes about commanding that locker room and leading men. I think he just exhibits
I
all of
never
that.
had
So
any.
I'm cheering for him. And then plus, like, any city that's similar to us in this retrospect of many years
Hmm.
of losing, many years of ridicule. No disrespect, but Tampa Bay has had a couple of good seasons and recently. So
In
I
recent
would
years,
like to
you're right.
see. I will always like to see a team that hasn't done it in a long time to get that opportunity for that community. Detroit mirrors us a lot in terms of their communities. I really would love to see that. The other game, the the only thing that will only make me pause about the pick is I would never pick Buffalo to win outright unless their win helps the Miami Dolphins. And the only thing that is pushing me against that a little bit is this Taylor Swift stuff. I am sick of it. They actually said they're talking about giving her a ring if they win this Super
Yes.
Bowl. Like,
I
it's
mean,
starting to
she
get
does deserve one. If they finally win, she's been carrying her back. Her she's been carrying this
Miss
team
Fence.
all season
We
long.
we not
Like,
doing that. But the whole point is, it drives me wry on how there's no other girlfriend that's been in the limelight so much that we are interrupting the
yeah,
game of
not that many
football.
girlfriends who are billionaires, so I get it.
Well, no, whatever. All right, you got a full pledge, the greatest Olympian of all time is married to a player,
Good
and
for her.
they barely speak about her. But let me get to the point. I'm still picking Kansas City to win. I hope Buffalo rests at icy piss. I know that we got a couple of good fans for the Buffalo Bears. Well, rest in urine, very cold urine. I am anti-Buffalo. I will always be anti-Buffalo, and I can never cheer for them unless it benefits the Dolphins. But another note, just personally to you, Miss Fans, I just want to take a second to give you your flowers. I mean, I'm not in the the content creating world, but I know anything like this requires work. It not all the times people support you. It can be frustrating when things are not picking up at the pace that you wanted to. But I told you offline, and I said it in the public, that I think you have an amazing future with what you're doing. It is great, not just in terms of Dolphins fans, but the women in the community. I mean, I know I'm scrappy, so I can sit in these spaces and fight with the men and in these platforms and fight for the men. But some people are a little bit more delicate and just won't even listen or participate. So for what you're doing, to me, you are the queen of this field, and I know that the good Lord is going
God
to
no,
bless you
I'll take
beyond
that.
measure because you are giving people like myself and others the opportunity to speak on the platform. There are certain women that I've heard in the future because they're females, they're not allowed to come up and have a word. So what you're doing 7 days a week, 24/7, I salute you and I thank you as I'm learning you. You are an amazing person and nothing but blessings. And I land my plane there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate those kind words. And you know what? It's awesome. It's I started this because I wanted to talk to other people besides my family about the Dolphins. So, thank you for the flowers, Nene, and thank you for contributing the way that you have. And I love. It's funny. I was talking to my cousin, and she's like, "Oh, I sent one of my coworkers to you." She's like, "Oh my god, a female talking about the Dolphins? What?" And she's just as passionate as me. I love it. And when she told me that, I was like, well, I mean, I'm very passionate. But I just love to get those reactions from people. I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But I love talking about it because we love sports too. It's just we don't talk about it as much out loud, I guess, than the guys do. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the flyers. You're too kind, and you have yourself a wonderful and blessed rest of your day. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye bye. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Miss Phins. I am Miss Phins. Thank you guys for coming through. Honestly, today was just about having fun, talking football, and I had to talk about those Tua tweets, man, they're hilarious to me, and the punches and counter punches are hilarious. So there you go, you have it, and these don't happen on Sundays because this I'm off on Sundays. But thank you guys for coming through. Do me a favor, hit that like button on your way out. Everybody on Twitter and Twitch, thank you so much for coming through as well. Also, too, guys, become a member. Donate to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know. I answer all the comments well, I try to do it every day, but I can't. So I answer all the comments. So any questions you may have, anything you want to say, go ahead and put in the comment section after the videos or after the shows, so that we can interact that way too. And some of you guys love to go back and forth with me, and I love it. But like I always say, guys, debate the opinion, be kind to the person. We never know what people are going through right now, so we want to always be kind and keep that in mind. I appreciate all of you guys who do support, all the members. Shout out to you, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to just say hello, and have a great day, and let's go. Here, honestly, we'll see who ends up winning, but at the end of the day, this should be a fun football Sunday. So take care, guys, and I appreciate it. And I will see you on Monday. Bye bye.